there just rolled through the rest of the finals.
Absolutely. They defended well, didn't they? Because Joseph's had the wind in the last quarter and they just defended well and played really well. But, yeah, here we are. New season, though, Kingy, and both sides look, pretty much very similar, really, aren't they? Very similar personnel, with St Joey's just adding a little bit, which aren't, a few of them aren't playing today. But Leopold's list still looks very strong, doesn't it, from that qualifying final last year?
So Leopold have made 7 changes from their grand final team. So those that didn't play grand final day, Nick Ash, Max Annandale and Dan Pitcher all played in a final. So Ash and Pitcher actually got dropped after the second semi. Annandale played in the qualifying final, didn't play again. You've got the newcomers in Brislane and also Lunnon Johnson on debut. You've got Lockie McLean playing only his second game, played 7 games at the Falcons last year, and you've got Tyler Watts. Kyle Bumstead and Riley Stone, I think, are both running around out here in the reserves. Is Riley Stone wearing number 14?
He is.
And talking about number changes, Billy Ritchie, a little bit lighter this year. Number 40. He's dropped 40. I ran into him before. He said, I might move a bit better. And then you've lost James Edmonds to Port Fairy.
Yep.
Tom Gordon's retired and he's coaching the twos. Tev Noffy's at Anglesey. Jake Pitt's gone to Albury. And Ollie Tate's at Torquay. The other one is Will Sheehan, who will play VFL tomorrow for the Cats. So they are the 7 changes. The other 2 players whom we'll ask Luke Kelly about these 2 guys post-game, Lewis Gilbert and Harry Hawker. Harry Hawker's the recruit they picked up via Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
Now, he put himself on Facebook Marketplace, but he was selling a pair of runners on Facebook Marketplace, and the person who bought them said, do you play footy? And he said, yeah, I do. And he said, we'd like to come and have a kick. So that's how he's ended up at Leopold. I believe both Hawker and Gilbert are just battling some injury, but we'll get some confirmation. In terms of St Joey's, 3 changes from the Newtown team. Hunter Lewis last year, 60 goals, wonderful season, or 55 goals, wonderful season. Josh Nanadis had a great second half of the year, and Luke Webb we touched on. Liam Betson unavailable, Joe Chaplin VFL, Cal Mitchell out with a hamstring, but still to come in, Jack Buckley. Now, is the Bukovic out here?
He's not, he's done his hamstring.
Oh,
again.
No, has he? Oh, no.
Kidding.
Not sure if that was public knowledge.
Well, it is now.
So I think it's a four-weeker.
At training, obviously. Mitch Chafer is still coming back from the shoulder.
Yep.
And Paddy de Grande, we now find it has a shin issue. Had been playing VFL, would have played VFL tomorrow against Box Hill, but that is obviously a blow for them. But they do have some depth. Finn McComb running around out there. Ollie Hannessy running around out there. They're not short of talent if they need to bring it up, Kirsch.
No, absolutely not. There's a couple others, like Jack Leonard's not playing. He's still carrying an injury. Tanner Owen's still carrying an injury. So there's a couple of those players that, push the depth of the footy club. So they're in a good position going forward if they can get a lot of their players on the park. But I guess points would come into that too, because, you've got Schaefer's at, 4 or 5, and
Schaefer would be a 5, I reckon.
Yeah, and then you've got, Hosey and that are at 4s.
Yep.
So, yeah,
Although Cooper Wood's come back as a 1.
So you've got some points issues going forward. So,
which is what Leopold's footy boss, Hamish Easton, was chatting to me about earlier. They're off about 27 today.
Are they really?
Yeah, out of 40.
Whereas they've had issues.
Yeah.
They have in the past.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where they've had to play Tate at high points. Tom Gordon came in at high points.
Correct.
But now they find themselves in a better position. The ruck battle is going to be really intriguing today. Ed McCoy was always going to have it athletically over Cam Wilkinson a couple of weeks ago. Not so much over Tyler Watts today for Wombat Gully Plant Farm.
Tyler Watts, as we know, has been a terrific footballer in the GFL at Geelong West and on Werribee VFL's list. And he's played a couple of games this year at Werribee, and he's obviously played Geelong VFL in the past. So Tyler Watts, what I like about him is his follow-up work. It's not just when the ball hits the ground he gives up and he's not in the contest. He is well and truly in the contest. He follows up. He's really good at sort of getting forward and kicking goals. So he's got some real attributes. And Ed McCoy is going to have to be at his absolute best today and do what he did last week, really, and not really worry about the opposition so much, but play his game, but also be a bit defensively minded on Watts.
The player I'm really looking forward to seeing today is Max Annandale.
Yes.
20 goals in 8 games last year, 5 against St Mary's, game we broadcast out at Memorial Park, where Leopold had control of the contest, and then Harry Benson and Sam Dobson got involved, and Harry Benson just absolutely willed St Mary's to victory in the end. But Annandale is a freakish talent. I believe did some pre-season at Geelong.
He did, and if you recall, K-Rock listeners, we actually spotted him in the twos, didn't we, in a game? It might have been against South Barwon last year, where we go, this guy's got something. And obviously he was coming back from injury, and yeah, well, the rest is history, because he came up to GFL footy and showed what he could do. He's got a real edge about him, and he's got a bit of X factor as well. So he's one today that could really turn it on if given time and space.
Absolutely. Other end of the ground, we talked in the car about where the goals might come from for St Joey's. Oscar Morrison will have the support of Hunter Lewis, but Morrison, with Chaplin out, is going to be their key marking target.
Yeah, absolutely. Joel Edwards has got a big role to play today as well. Look, on this small ground, it might not hurt them as much. It might be that, you know, they both set themselves a bit deeper, and Joel Edwards might be that one rolling up a little bit higher. But I think with that 45-metre line and 50 metres only to the centre square, I think that it's not going to be too big a disadvantage by not having that extra tall down there. So I think it'll work out well on this ground with a two-pronged sort of forward attack, and I think we should see plenty of goals from both sides today.
It's going to be a different looking Leopold defence without Tev Noffey in it, but they've still got the guys that are very happy to fly for marks, and Harris Jennings, Trent Thompson, obviously happy to get involved in the contest. Jennings more as a marker, Trent Thompson more as, to quote our great mate Ben Casanelli, more the Mick Schultz role.
Yeah, absolutely. But we know how Leopold play. They get their numbers back. They get the Williamsons, the Burgesses, Feely, Luke Justin. They all get back and help out their defence and sort of run it out in numbers. So, you know, the big guys go to work, and then the mids sort of get back and help out and run the ball out of defence. But, you know, without Will Sheen down there as well, he's that sort of flexibility tool that can go back and forward, and he can even play wing, really, Will Sheen. But, yeah, it's going to be a real good contest. But, you know, two key defenders, two key forwards. So I think the matchups are going to be pretty good today.
Yeah, absolutely. CarrotFootball.live. Don't forget, if you are listening to us and you want to watch the Vision today, AFL Barwon TV will go live with the contest from about 2 o'clock. Bounces at 2:10, so you'll be able to listen to our commentary over the top of the coverage footage from Red Onion. So.
Holy Hennessy!
They have been, St Joey's have been trying to score for 8 minutes in this final term with the twos. Ollie Hennessy has just kicked it from mid-air, Lana Messi style,
Absolutely.
to give them a 1-point lead with about 3 minutes to go.
49 playing 48, and of course it's a rolling clock here.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah, so you probably just want to kick the ball down the hill.
Well, funny you say that. It's the 9th time I've seen the ball hit the road. So if they haven't got anyone out there, it's going to get a free footy.
It's going to end up on the beach. Somebody's going to find it doing the pier to pub next year.
I mean, the nets behind the goal are lower than the goals.
Yes,
and
they
it's
are.
on the road.
They are.
7-6-48, 7-7-49. Leopold have actually got it out of the middle here in this reserve grade clash, and inside 45. You're going to have to get used to saying that today. Well, I reckon we might end up with a draw here. A couple of sockers off the ground, ball top of the square,
head. Take it off.
and
No.
we're going to get a ball up at the top of the square. How good's the scoreboard here?
That's a cracker.
That's great.
It's probably the best, isn't it?
The brightest and clearest, that's for sure, considering we're 1.7k away from it.
There's people coming from everywhere. I've just seen the Ryan family from St Mary's, and also the former mayor, Councillor Peter Murray. Actually, we might actually get Pete to jump on. Of course, chair of the Geelong Racing Club. Birchie, if you could just set the
he's at the
former mayor up for a chat.
He's at the bar.
He's the mayor. Now that he might not be on council anymore, but he's still the mayor of Lorne. we might get Pete Murray to jump on. We love doing this for inspirations, Pete. Throw the headset on, Mert. Have a chat to us. Let's see if we can get a couple of words out of now. Mert, just pull that a little. There we go. Good work. Good to see you, Mert. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Tommy.
Throw you under the bus.
This was well planned.
Lorne Surf Life Saving Club. You've had heavy roles there. You still involved?
Not officially.
No.
Been on the committee and I was president for a little while, but been off it for a couple of years now with the council duties that I had. But it's still a great part of the world down here, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, you spend a bit of time down here, don't you?
Lots more now. Got a bit more time on my hands. That's work up and let's head to Lawn. Stay down there a few months.
So, okay. You're sliding
Yes, I am.
with Birchie. Birchie's sliding.
Yeah.
And the new mayor, Stretch Contel, is sliding.
I believe so.
Is there any truth to the rumour that you're pushing him down and pushing him down hard?
Yes, there is.
Surely, if they've got a sense of theatre, you're pushing Stretch down. Because I think Leopold have just kicked a goal with 25 seconds remaining. And by the time the ball gets back to the middle, St Joey's won't have enough time, although Leopold will want to quickly get into position.
And they're hurrying.
They're hurrying back. As a follower of the GFNL, how rapt are you to see a GFNL game played in what is your second backyard?
Oh, look, I was thrilled when I heard about this because over the years coming to watch Lawn play on the Saturday, and then they hadn't been able to play for a couple of years, and I heard there was a GFNL match here. I think it's fantastic. So I hope everyone embraces it, gets along here and enjoys the day.
Leopold by 5 points in the end. Anthony Tanner kicking the winner goal, 54-49. GRC keeping you busy as chair.
Look, it's not a big commitment there, but certainly it's a great commitment. Really enjoy it, as you know. You're out there often. So we race next Wednesday.
Yep.
GRC is probably the best position I think it's ever been.
Yep. Some great improvement works have been done just on the, I'm trying to do the southern side of the mounting yard.
Yes. Yeah. So we have a word. I'm not sure what we've called that area yet, but it's new. If you haven't been there yet to have a look at it, it's quite impressive.
And you've obviously got the really good race days coming up. You've got the APCO Foundation race for a reason day, Surf Coast Times Torquay Cup, the Right Mate race day. Yep. Keith Roderick, the Roderick Insurers, Jai Roderick Memorial. It's a great winter, isn't it? It's a social event.
It's a great Friday out there during the winter of the races, and it's always raising money for local charity.
Yep, absolutely. Mert, good to see you.
Thanks, Tommy.
Enjoy the footy. Keep Ambrose Ryan under control, will
That's
you?
impossible, you know that.
I know, that was a silly question. And we'll see you Sunday, June 1.
Yes, you will.
Going down the slide.
Going down the slide.
After stretch.
After stretch. On top of stretch.
Good to see you, Mert. Pete Murray joining us for Inspiration Spain. Always a pleasure to talk with the former mayor of the city of Greater Geelong.
It's going to end in tears, isn't it?
We've had 3 of the sliders on today.
I know. Where is Stretch? Is he here? We get Stretch on too. Where is he?
Stretch on?
Yeah, get Stretch on.
Absolutely get Stretch on.
I'll tell you, KC will probably be down here. They camp down here, the KCs.
Hey.
The Flins, they do.
Right,
yes,
well, if we do see the president of St Mary's,
I think she wouldn't be too far away.
they went down Media Street during the week.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And didn't her brother cop it?
Really?
Oh, yeah, better more. Because Sally Flynn being Sally Moore, Sir Charles Hotham.
Yes.
Chris is publican.
Is there anybody in Geelong that's not related to anybody else?
No,
Like, seriously,
how are we going? Some sort of connection to somebody.
Everybody.
We need to take a break, come back. Other side, the cracker between St Joseph's and Leopold. Leopold by 5 points in the reserve grade clash, which was a thrill. I hope we get the same. 54-49 was the final score for the bench. For Team Tyre Power and the Ponds and Norland Hotels, get your friends together and have a fun day out at the Ponds and Norland Hotel. Back shortly for APCO Cafe 24/7. Live, breathe, K-Rock Footy.
Geelong's favourite way to wake up.
So if you have trouble bending, stretching, putting on socks as you get older, or if you're injured, so I've seen this hack.
I could use this.
Yeah, I know.
Because
All
I
right.
have to roll on my back at the moment and kind of hook one on my big toe and just anything like that, just to get it started.
Of course you do. It's called foreplay.
In 2025, Geelong and the Surf Coast's favourite way to wake up is Tom, Lee and Loggy on K-Rock 955. Visit one of Mimosa Homes' 50 displays across Melbourne and Geelong.
Since a bloke named Bill started cutting timber in a mill back in 1980, Barwon Timber's been the builder's best mate ever since. Whether you're stick framing or need prefab frames and trusses, Barwon Timber's got what you need for every building stage. Geelong owned and operated with trade quality products in stock, ready to go. Barwon Timber, Fellmongers Road, Breakwater. The team that builders just keep coming back for.
I'm going down to Barwon Timber.
Great news, Torquay and Wampons. KFC is now open in your part of the world. Drive through, takeaway, or on your favourite food delivery app. KFC Torquay and Wampons, now open. Did someone say KFC?
When an emergency strikes, every second counts. That's why you need a trusted and reliable emergency department that provides you with the highest level of care. And that's exactly what you'll find at St John of God Geelong's Emergency Department. Open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m, 7 days a week. From chest pains to broken bones, St John of God Geelong's team of experienced doctors and nurses is there, ready to care for you. St John of God Geelong, caring for our community for 50 years.
Metricon gives you freedom to get more of what you really want in a brand new home. More space, more light, and all at a price you can afford. Like the family favourite 4-bedroom Amira 20 with Kingston facade from $223,900. Yes, under 224 grand. But hurry, first 40 buyers only. Search Metricon Homes today. Conditions apply. Exclude site costs. Geelong Build Region. CDBU 52967.
At Harvey Norman, Corio and Warn Ponds, meet the next generation of computing power. The new Intel Ultra processors. With AI and Windows Copilot, these computers have never been faster or smarter. For technology that's not just ahead of the curve, but bending the curve, talk to Geelong's experts in tech and discover how you can upgrade your world. Harvey Norman, Corio and Warn Ponds, proudly bringing you the future of computers, now.
At APCO, we know your time is precious. So download the APCO app to skip the queue and pay for your fuel from the comfort of your car. Love our Jaffles and award-winning coffee? Pre-order through the APCO app. No more waiting in line, just grab and go. Shop the way you want, when you want. Just search APCO app in your app store and start saving time today. APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
Thanks to our #1 ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
And the sun just starting to emerge on this Saturday afternoon, Easter Saturday, from Stribling Reserve. GFNL round 1 action between Leopold and St Joseph's, a 2-time reigning premier. And we've just seen the father of the Leopold Sporties Player of the Day from yesterday, Riley Ferguson. Stewie Ferguson just walking past. Make sure he takes you for dinner, Stewie. Who was he going to tell you? Who was his good bloke? We did ask the usual question.
I hope so.
Who was the good bloke?
Who was the reptile?
Lockie
Riley was the good. No, he wouldn't give us a reptile.
He did in the end.
Seriously, I'll leave it to you for one.
Jack Pickering.
Jack Pickering.
Oh, yeah.
Jack Pickering. Jane Birch down Boundary Side this afternoon for Leopold Sporties, your complete family venue, 135 Kensington Road. And Leopold, Birchie, where are you? No sign of Birchie. Let's just see if we can tap into Birchie. There, Birchie? No Birchie. Like, all right. Going to the toss of the coin. But that's in place, and Al Hickey's on the toss and will kick to the Geelong end in this opening quarter. We've lost Birchie.
She's run away.
I can't.
It's a big crowd.
Can't even spot Birchie on the ground. Usually she's not too far away from the toss of the corn. That's like, well, Birchie will tap into us very, very shortly, hopefully. Hopefully Birchie's all right.
Oh, here I am, sorry. I was having a good chat to the coaching staff down here from Leopold, actually.
Where are you? I can't even...
Marked it on the 45.
Settle
Of course
down.
you would. Of course you would.
Oh, I couldn't do it now. I'd probably go
You're ping.
A over.
Breakwater Meadowland, head-to-head, please. Kirsch?
Well, I think on a day like today, it's quite obvious we'll go the inside mid battle because, as we spoke to Paul Hood, that's where it's going to be won or lost. I think that midfield battle is going to be so important today. We spoke about McCoy's role on Watts, but it's really when ball hits the ground. We know both midfields are pretty stacked, and two of the best players in the competition go head-to-head for me, and Marcus Thompson and James Gow. I think that will be an absolute beast of a competition between them two, and they will play an influential role in this game.
Thank you for that, Kirsch. And of course our matchups will come to you from Wombat Gully Plant Farm, but for Breakwater Meadowland, still projects made easy. Our head-to-head is Marcus Thompson, the skipper of the Polders, 2-time premiership skipper now, equal third in the Matheson medal against last year's Joey's best and fairest in James Gow. Two teams are huddling up. Just down for Goddings to Birchie. Birchie, just an update on those ground conditions as you get the sketchers acquainted with the surface.
Yeah, it's very soft underfoot, like quite spongy. So I dare say there'd be some tired legs at the end of perfect conditions, bit overcast, as you guys have mentioned, so should be fantastic.
Thank you for that, Birchie. Goddings, Geelong's Kubota dealers, tractors, excavators, mowers and more. Victoria Street in North Geelong. The KFC X-Pole is in and it's tight. Joey's 57%, Leopold 43%. KFC, grab a $3.95 go bucket from KFC for a tasty bite on the go. Of course, pick up only We'll go around the grounds for Leopold Sporties, but can tell you earlier today, Box Hill Hawks 14-4-88 defeated Geelong 4-6-30 VFLW round 1 at Deakin, so 58-point win there for the Hawks. And in the AFL clash at the MCG, Melbourne have just burst away from the Dockers. The margin when I last checked was 11 points. It's now 29. They've kicked 10-1, Melbourne, to 5-2 at the G, and that is not a surprise at all that Freo would go to the MCG and potentially poop the bed.
God. Who would have picked Melbourne? That's the thing.
Winner and margin, please, Birchie.
No. She's waving at us. She can't hear. Have you got her on?
You turned on, Birchie?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Winner and margin?
I think I'm going to go with Leopold.
By?
10 points.
Thank you for that. Kirsch, no pendulum?
No pendulum yet. Joey's by 4 points.
Chase?
Joey's by 3 points. Last kick of the game.
Joey's by 21. We're going to see some youngsters. We're going to see Tyler Watts for the first time in a Leopold jumper. First quarter action thanks to Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Ponds. Here's Jace.
Yes, and he goes up against Eddie McCoy, who gets it down to the side of the pack, running onto it fairly. Touchy runs through, picks it up as well, gets it towards the piano tuner, into play early, but Jack Mullen gets it on centre wing, turns it around the corner, but he's turned the ball over at half back. And Harris Jennings takes the mark and goes back in towards the middle. Dangerous kick, but it's okay in the end. And a 50 as well.
50.
50. Oh, 50's worth about 80 on this ground today.
And the man with two first names is going to have a shot for gold.
Steve Ganacci, Shea Hubie and Chris Jones controlling this one.
Look where it's taken him.
He's 45 out from gold.
No, that's a 45-metre arc. He's taken him. That's 40 metres out. And he's marked it in his defensive half.
We're at Tripoli Reserve. It's a bit different to GMHBA.
Correct.
So, set shot for goal at the southern end of the ground here. Luke Justin come in, 45 out, left foot. Kerk has put it through. Great start for the reigning premiers. And he puts the first on the board for Leopold, 1 straight 6. And Joey's yet to score. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, first quarter scoreboard.
Well, he did mark that off half back. And we did speak about the game today, where the goal's going to be kicked from and how short the ground is in length. And that shows the importance that, well, you can't give away a 50. Like, you cannot afford to give away a 50 like that. Whether it was there or not, to me it looked like it was there. And, yeah, you just can't afford that on a day like today, particularly this ground. It's a little postage stamp.
Little postage stamp.
Well, have a look where Harry Smith's come up on Brock Williamson.
Watts has won the tap down. Gowers hacked it out of mid-air and got about 40 metres. It rolls inside 50. Oh, McLaughlin, bang! Oh, down he went. Hit hard by Luke Justin, and he is sore. He's in a real lot of pain. Is Max McLaughlin for St John of God. He's trying to get to his haunches, but he got him right in the solar plexus. While that's all happening, Joey's the kick inside 50. Jennings dropped what he'd normally take for Leopold. Brought down in a tackle without holding the ball. And Max McLaughlin is writhing in pain on the ground. Medical staff to him now, but he was hit with a full force of velocity from Luke Justin.
He was just open, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was nothing untoward.
No.
Max McLaughlin was just pounded upon, and he is really struggling to find breath. He's got to his feet now. And he's back on his haunches. While this is all happening, Jack Mullen's having a shot at goal to tie the score, and he does. So within 2.5 minutes, we've got a goal apiece. We might get a shootout here this afternoon at Stribling Reserve as the sun starts to poke through here at the home of the Lawn Dolphins. 1 straight 6 apiece, Leopold and St Joseph's on the first quarter. K-Rock, Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Pond scoreboard. Down to you, Birchie, for St John of God. You're keeping an eye on Maxie McLaughlin.
Yeah, he's finally to his feet and making his way off the ground, but it's taken him a long time to, to feel up to actually getting to his feet. So hopefully it's just, he's winded and there's no sort of rib damage or anything like that.
Thanks, Birchie, and your updates. Thanks to St John of God this afternoon, caring for our community for over 50 years. Back to the middle here at Stribling. Umpire Jones has ball in hand for Tyler Watts up against Eddie McCoy. And it really hits Watts in the head, really, as it comes through from centre wing Henderson for St Joey's. Over the top of it, James Hickey, wrapped up straight away, not going anywhere. And Mitch Burgess put that tackle on.
Is Mitch Burgess a bit more her shoot than normal?
Yes, he's been to see somebody, and Eddie McCoy gets it down. Mullen, you'll like that one, Mitch. Harry Smith wrapped up straight away. Brock Williamson put the tackle on. Now, the piano tuner with a right foot kick inside 45 over the back, punched away by Giddings at the front. Al Hickey, handball just sort of, goes towards Webby. He gets it out towards Harry Smith, and Joey's now just settled through Zach Knights. They go wide, and Felix Henderson takes the mark in front of the best seats in the house, thanks to Atco Cafe 24/7.
Henderson driving ball to half forward. Flying but not marking was Edwards off the hands of the pack. Jennings tried to knock it to advantage. Lewis for the first time this year involved after playing in the twos in round one. Hands and knees, turned it over though to Feely. Feely was pushed off the kick. It rolled along the ground to McCoy, who under pressure from Matthews pumps it towards forward 45. No 50s here today. It's 45-metre arcs. Front of the pack numbers, Trent Thompson included for Leopold to lock things up. And we'll get a ball up. What about this for a Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchup? Andrew Pepper on Hunter Lewis.
Just about to say the same thing, Kingy. I've written a few matchups down, but that one was the one that excited me the most.
45 out from St Joey's goal. Ball spills to the side of the pack from the ruck contest. Mullen's handball back and set a task for Felix Henderson. He got the kick around the corner towards Lewis. Pepper right next to him over the top. Trent Thompson to Leopold. Handball up back towards Gow. He's about 30 from goal. His handball sort of came out to Betson. He's wrapped up sort of. And you have to be a fair effort to wrap up Keelan Betson. Brother at a wedding today. Not good enough, Liam. Not good enough.
So Keelan wasn't close enough to get invited?
Obviously not a family member. So back in. Watts gets it down. The piano tuner to Pepper. The condiment goes from centre half back towards centre wing. Open space now. Foot race getting across there and being able to run away by the looks of it too is Annandale. He gets around on the left. 45 out from goal. Open goal square. Goes to the top of it. Which way is it going to bounce? Giddings got a hand to it. Handball back. It's all St Joey's there though. Should be able to relax and get through Luke Webb. Oh, dangerous kick. Terrible in the end, but got to Harry Smith.
That was a legitimate shank from Luke Webb, but Smith has got it. Saw his grandfather Barry here a little bit earlier. Kick to half back, who had a link to Leopold. Knights back to Webb. Webb to half forward. Back with the flight. Was crunched as he went back with the flight. Was young McLean. You won't miss him with the reddish style hair. And we'll get a ball up. His dad Joe, a former Leopold player of the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yes, indeed. Very good player as well, Joe. No surprise that Leopold has set up really well behind the ball, and they've thwarted a couple of entries so far.
Here's Burgess, and there's going to be a free kick. I reckon being held was James Hickey, who accepted a reprimand for striking Archie Lazaro out of round one and was very quick to take out. Nobody stands the mark, so he will run to just outside 45, pull the trigger and pull it to the left through for a minor score. 117 St Joseph's. Leopold, 1 straight 6. 5 3/4 minutes played on the Barwon Foods time clock. Opening quarter action from Stribbling Reserve in Lawn. KROCfootball.live and AFL Barwon TV.
Good aim with two first names. Luke Justin to kick it in for Leopold.
Game's been played on this side of the ground. The broadcast side all...
And thank God for us.
Yeah,
it's a great idea. Ball out long. Oh, McCoy goes up, takes the mark in front of Watts, who's not happy with the kick in. And McCoy takes it from centre wing, drills it towards centre half forward. Over the head, I think it might be a free kick. It will be. Take Porter.
Forgot he was a ruckman then, Jace.
Yes.
Thought he'll drill someone up on the chest.
Porter goes wide. It's okay. And Brislane takes the mark. Youngster in his debut. He goes to McLean, who takes the mark. Just back end of centre wing, in front of a big crowd here at Stribbling 2 this afternoon. They're pulled in from the Lawn Pub at 1:30. They go long now towards Giddings, who goes up against McCoy, who should have taken the mark, didn't in the end. Humphrey for St Joey's gets it away to O'Dwyer. Dangerous kick across the face of goal, back toward Harry Smith. Going to be close to the boundary line. Gets away, does well, draws a player and gets the handball on the outboard. Kershaw, much better than his father, goes to centre wing with the kick. Over the top, Pepper's over there as well. The condiment can't pick it up for Leopold. He gets it, going to get it back, but he's wrapped up straight away. Thrown to the ground. St Joey's with the numbers.
Kershaw, though, ran into a Justin tackle, but was taken high. And we'll get a free kick. And that might be 50 as he pushed him back to ground. But umpire Ganachia says, just get back, Liam, and take your free kick. Out of wing, Oceanside. I don't get to say that very often in a KROCfootball.live GFNL call, as it's off the fist of the pack. Trent Thompson involved. No surprise, out of bounds boundary, throwing it right half forward. As much as it is a short ground, it's still playing like it's a normal length ground.
Well, you can play the width of the ground, Kingy, and the way you make a ground bigger is by lengthening your position on the ground. And if the forwards sort of hold their structure and keep deeper, then you can use a bit more length of the ground. That doesn't make sense when you think about it, but it does happen that way.
McCoy winning the tap down. Front of the pack, Thompson haven't called a lot of yet. He's kicked partially smart. Might have been by McCoy. Feely flew the loose footy. He lost it. Gow didn't know. Quick kick inside. Pepper judged it best off the boot, off the chest. Took it on the... Took the mark.
Good news for St Joseph's. Max McLaughlin's on this bench here, ready to come back on.
Thank you, Birchie, for St John of Goddle. That's a dangerous kick from Pepper, just over the outstretched arms of Oscar Morrison, and it finds Brislane, who's wearing Riley Stone's number 30, with Stone into the 14 this year. And that kick, too, was well weighted into the waiting arms of Harris Jennings, at right half back.
Goes with the kick now towards centre wing. Harry Smith worked his way to the front beautifully and got held onto as well. And we'll take the free kick. In front of Billy Ritchie there, who's looking unfamiliar in the number 6.
A lot lighter.
A lot lighter.
But he had some good results in his number 46.
He certainly did. Ball goes along the line towards half forward for St Joey's. It's punched out of the hands of a couple of St Joey's players, and we'll have a boundary throw in at left half forward here at Stribling. Leopold 1 straight 6, St Joey's 1-1-7, and we have played 8 minutes first term on the Barwon Foods time clock.
Ball back into play. McCoy and Watts. McCoy backhanding that. Zach Knight's a handball. Chance to get the footy away for Hose. He slipped over though, and that's holding the ball. He just lost his footing as he tried to shimmy away from Marcus Thompson, and not many have done that over their career. The veteran Thompson playing game 171. Kicks towards half forward. Giddings to fly. He got a push and will get a free kick. Played as a defender, told us on Beyond the Boundary during the week, as he played in a premiership with Southern Districts in the NTFL over summer. Long ball inside 50. Oh, Richie dropped an absolute sitter in the end. Kershaw the handball. Sold his teammate Nunatis up the river, was it? No, in fact it was... Actually, it might have been Nunatis. Is he wearing 57?
I think Ben Clark's wearing 57.
It's Clark in 57, not the usual 24. And we'll get a ball up just inside the 45.
So Watts up against McCoy. McCoy gets it down. Porter through the middle, leaves it. And Zach Knight's handball to a call from Hickey. Got it through the middle. Getting the handball up was Brislane. All back past Trent Thompson. Going to get towards the piano tuner, who gets wrapped up straight away at half forward for St Joey's. Ball spills free. Umpire says play on. Cooper Ward's there. Hose as well. The two youngsters, they get it back. Gow spears the ball inside 50, 45, whatever. Hunter Lewis takes the mark and will shoot for goal. 30 out directly in front.
That's his 6th possession, James Gow. He started like a house on fire, and that's his 3rd inside forward 50. So it wasn't pretty, but you just got to bang it in there sometimes. And even if you get a one-on-one, particularly on the small ground, it doesn't allow the defenders to come and just make a congregation at the stoppage.
So Hunter Lewis has taken that mark, and this for St Joey's 2nd of the afternoon. Started in the 2s a couple of weeks ago, and he's come back in the seniors and put it straight through for
We did talk about the big 2 key forwards up each end and the key defenders, but it's going to be these players with the medium-sized players and the smalls. Cooper Ward, Hunter Lewis, Mullen, the ones that have, well, 2 of them have hit the scoreboard already, Max McLaughlin, and at the other end, Billy Clark and Richie. It might be those ones that will play a really important role today in goal kicking.
Hunter Lewis coming off 55 goals last year. McCoy winning the tap. James Hickey doing the roving. A handball back on the bounce to Gow, who didn't take possession. He just hacked it forward again. Got good purchase. Flying was Mullen. Couldn't take the mark. The clearing kick for Leopold comes towards the wing. Trying to fight for the footy out there was Pitcher, but rather Ash couldn't get near the footy. Talking about, gee, Luke Justin, that was indiscriminate into the back of Max McLaughlin. He's already got him once today. He's got him a second time.
in the back now.
This one, front and back. Maybe he was just trying to rearrange what was knocked back. Just put it back into place. Kick inside 50. Morrison, Hamlin hanger. Ghosting across the front of the pack. Good strong grab. And he's marked about 40 out from goal. We'll go back and look at St Joey's 3rd. The delivery inside forward 50 has been pretty impressive at times from St Joey's. But a good strong Hamlin hanger contender. Hamlin has a new custom home in Torquay, open by appointment. Hamlin Homes bringing us the Hamlin hanger. Coming off 4 against Newtown. Game number 49 for him, so he'll play his 50th next week on Anzac Day against South Barwon. Kicks from 45, hangs it out to the right, just hasn't drawn it enough. And he'll have to hit that one from the rough. 2-2-14, Archbishop Desmond, may he rest in peace. Leopold, 1 straight 6, 11 and a quarter minutes played on the Barwon Foods time clock. Barwon Foods sells the freshest fish direct to you. Donga Road, North Geelong.
8-5 inside forward 50s by way of St Joseph's at the moment, but I think that numbers will be inflated today, Jace, given the size of the ground.
Absolutely. Ball back in from Burgess. He gets it towards half-back, but it's all St Joey's. Henderson gets the kick back inside 45, but in front taking it is
King Reptile.
The Reptile himself, K-Rock's own Jet Matthews.
The last kick inside again we're seeing today is just not sort of on point.
Along the line towards centre wing. Giddings against a couple. McCoy just stood there and took the mark. Giddings wanted some sort of hold or push out, but it wasn't there. Ball across half towards Webb at the back end of the centre. He goes out wide. They switch the ball out wide towards Harry Smith, who's taken the mark. Will play on now. Drives it long inside 45. Morrison gets back there. Got one hand eye in the back. Mullen won the raffle and just stood at the back, and it fell into his arms. He took the mark and will shoot for goal from 15 outside angle.
There we go. We spoke about the bigs getting sort of, they were finding or jostling for position, and they were one-on-one, and then there was a little Mullen out the back and just read it a little bit better than everyone else.
So he's already kicked one this afternoon. Just to finish off the good work from Harry Smith, who's been influential in this first term already as well. He's at the northern end of Stribling Reserve. It's his crowd. And it's a good crowd here as he comes in and misses. And has...
Oh, no.
Oh, wow-wee. Oh, well, he's kicked his second. And the only person that really thought that was the goal umpire. 3-2-20 St Joey's. Leopold 1 straight 6. Harvey Norman K-Rock first quarter scoreboard. We've been playing 13 minutes in this first term on the Barwon Foods time clock. Sells the freshest fish direct to you. Donga Road, North Geelong.
It's fair to say Jack Mullen got his mouth guard and went to set up then, but...
That wasn't a goal, was it?
No, it was not.
No, Kingy, it certainly was not a goal, but like you said, the only one to celebrate was the goal umpire.
It was a goal.
It was a goal.
Yeah, I'm right in line with it.
Right.
He turned around and just did a little bit of a head nod to the crowd here too in the grandstand.
A fan of his work.
He was a fan of his work.
It's packed down here, by the way.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
It's great.
Shane Birch down boundary side for Leopold supporters. Jennings doing the ruck work, won the tap down to Brock Williamson, who's had an injury interrupted pre-season on Geelong's VFL list, but got himself up for this afternoon. I think a knee issue he's been battling. Keelan Betson doing the ruck work, was hanging on to Jennings, was tapped down towards Marcus Thompson, who kicked inside forward 50. Al Hickey tried to take on 2 tackles, and the second one by Nick Ash is enough to win a free kick. And the Polders will have a shot at goal. Or is it Williamson? In fact, it's Brock Williamson who has taken the footy. Nick Ash was involved. He might have laid the first one. Williamson was the one that put Alex Hickey to bed. And this to just stop a little bit of momentum that St Joey's had built. Kicked the last 3 goals. After Luke Justin gave Leopold the ideal start inside the first 90 seconds. Brock Williamson, the Port Arlington product, best on ground in the grand final last year, will kick from just inside the centre square, which is about 55 out. They'll compete in the right forward pocket, flying but not marking. That was Brislane trying to barge his way through with the footy. There's some bodies going flying everywhere, and it's true for a minor score. Giddings was involved in it. James Hickey, not surprisingly, and we've got a minor score to Leopold. A rush behind, and the margin is 13-117, playing 3-2-20.
Webb kicks it into Al Hickey. His kick was indiscriminate, really, but got it towards McLaughlin in the middle. He's got a bit of time, and he gets the handball away to Gus Humphrey, running off half-back for St Joey's. Goes towards centre half forward, chopped off. Parp takes the mark in front of Cooper Ward. Just back end of centre wing on the outer side. The Leopold captain goes with the kick towards centre wing. Beautiful to Feely. Touchy's bought the same boots as Connor Giddings today, as Harris Jennings today too. Nice little yellow number. There he is as well. Giddings has got a pair as well, and he takes the mark this time, 3rd in line. Webby's not happy, and there's a few others not happy down there, but Connor Giddings is, and he's taken the mark and will shoot for goal from 25 out directly in front.
Yeah, Joel Dwyer was just a little bit out position there. He was sort of in 2 minds whether to defend or go the mark, because he had the height over the 2 in front of him, but allowed Connor Giddings just to fly at the ball. And if there's anyone in the competition you cannot allow to run and jump at the ball, it's this guy here.
Welcome to the French commentary.
Absolutely.
Connor Giddings comes in, kicks the goal. So the Premiership Hungers puts his first on the board.
Hey, what?
Oh, he just hungers it up. He does. Wins too many premierships. Connor, 2 straight 12. They are Leopold now. And they trail St Joey 3-2-20. Harvey Norman, K-Rock first quarter scoreboard in the experts chair. Thanks to the Sporting Globe. Sporting Globe Geelong, eat, drink, sport. Here's Kirsch.
I know we touched on that little contest just there, but it was back in the middle where there was just a couple of, we go back to the source and a couple of turnovers for St Joseph's. They just didn't, it started with Al Hickey, the best ball user in the competition. Just grubbed one along the ground and they were put under all sorts of pressure, turned it over, and it's a goal off in the back of a turnover.
McCoy winning the tap down. Thompson knocked it away from Gow, tried to knock it into the path of Brislane, who's been put into the fire early. Brislane and Kershaw, a good battle, a couple of youngsters. Here's Ash, stiff again in 2024, not to be part of a premiership. Here's Brislane now to Thompson. Wagner inside forward 50, the piano tuner, top of the square. Giddings being reeled it in anyway with the one hand. Hamlin hanger contender from Connor Giddings with the one hand, and now Nick Ash and Al Hickey want to get to know each other a little bit better. But Connor Giddings held on to with one, somehow used the left arm to control the ball down his forearm and reel in the mark, and he'll look to kick his second in as many minutes and pull the margin back to a point.
That's amazing.
Yep.
He had no idea he took the mark in the end, I reckon, Connor.
Didn't.
That was good.
Giddings finishing season starting 25 as he finished 2024. He drives through that one and kicks his second. Doesn't get very high off the ground, but he was pinpoint. He kicks his second. He kicked 40 last year, and he's closing in on 100 goals for the Polders. He's got 96 now in a career that's now 71 games after debuting back in 2021 from Portland. First quarter, K-Rock scoreboard. Thanks to Harvey Norman, Corowa and Warren Ponds, it's Leopold 3-1-19, trailing St Joey's 3-2-20. The coach of Ammos has just poked his head in. Very happy with himself after yesterday.
So back to the middle.
There are a lot. I saw the coach of Newtown and Chilwell here having a look.
This is what happens. Everybody comes to Lawn on Easter Saturday at Stribling Reserve, and going up on the ruck, getting it down was Watts to the piano tuner, the man with two first names, Justin with a torpedo punt inside 50. Oh, Webb was going up for the mark, and Hickey unfortunately spoiled it from him. That's his teammate. Ball goes across towards Knights for St Joey's. Handball from Ash, tapped on by over the top. That came from Kershaw, goes to the side of the pack. James Hickey now around the corner to centre wing, might be okay. It is, and the mark's taken by Edwards, who moves it on quickly.
Oh, wonderful kick inside 50 into the space. It's now occupied by Lewis. Lewis on his non-preferred left. Didn't get full purchase, and it'll roll towards the goal line and be tracked by Pepper. Pepper a handball to Brislane, confronted by Mullen, but just composed himself to kick, looking for another youngster. And on debut, a second gamer, I should say, McLean has marked. Got good protection from Porter, who's changed numbers this year. The 21 last year and the 23 this year, as he kicks looking for Williamson off the hands of the pack. Ashwell fell over at the inopportune time trying to take control of the footy. Betson hasn't been as influential as he was a fortnight ago. Brought to ground by Billy Clark, and we'll get a ball up near the edge of the centre square broadcast side. 3-2-20, 3-1-19, first quarter action. Thanks to Harvey Norman, Corowa and Warren Ponds, Kirsch for the Sporting Globe.
Yeah, just saw one sneak out the back there as Luke Webb come up to that stoppage, so Webby's just got to be mindful that they're going to probably expose him a little bit and try and get out the back of him.
Gow into forward 50 again. Oh, Pepper falls over at the crucial stage, and Hunter Lewis makes him pay and kicks the goal. And that is his second Hunter Lewis of the afternoon. Great play from James Gow in the middle again. And St Joey's get their fourth, 4-2-26. They lead Leopold 3-1-19. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, first quarter scoreboard.
Yeah, well, we spoke about Gow, his influence on the game already. He's had the 7 touches, 4 clearances and 4 inside forward 50s. And I think 2 of them have resulted in a goal. So he's having a fair stamp on this game at the moment. But, Hunter Lewis, yes, he probably should have kicked that last goal on Pepper. Pepper's just got to really tighten up on him. I think Pepper's worried about him on the ground, but Hunter's very dangerous on the lead as well. So Pepper's really just got to man up a bit at the moment.
First goal in general play for the afternoon. The other 6 coming from set shots. McCoy climbed high, won the tap down. Thompson the roving, missed with the handball that intended for Brislane, but helping out is Wagner through traffic, trying to get it back to Brislane. It was a throw. Just took a little bit too long, and Kershaw wins himself a free kick. Just back of the wing, Kershaw. A little bit of a fumble of the footy and then a hack kick towards half forward that did Morrison no favours. It's going to be a free kick each way going. There's a whistle gone, and umpire Hubie, who is on the spot, has seen something where Trent Thompson was being interfered with by Oscar Morrison. And into the leadership group, well, vice captain this year, Trent Thompson. or one of two, short to Ash, who's got it at right half back in front of the coaches' boxes that are right next to each other. There's really no separation between the two clubs. As Ash, his kick will flirt with the boundary line. Brisbane will try and keep it alive. That's out in the full. And it'll be a free kick. Oh, actually, a free kick's going to go. Notice has been done for a front-on contact in a contest that he actually didn't need to be in.
Yeah, I think you got that wrong, Jones.
Brisbane concedes some ground back to Mitch Burgess, who over his journey has had the really short cropped arrangement, and this time he's got actually a headband.
A headband, that's a fine.
He's gone shaggy. He chips one over the top, and Ash down low genuflects and takes the mark.
So Ash now works his way back inside forward 50, looking for coming out. No mark taken. Williamson going up there was Annandale. Wagner at the back, Webb handball over the top, just inside but back 45. Now McLaughlin, who's recovered, handball on the outboard, might be okay. Kick around the corner. Hose turned it over. Trent Thompson, easy, gets it back towards Watts. Just gets the mark at the back end of the cricket pitch. Now gives it away to the headband one. Burgess gets it wide to Annandale. Thought 50 from goal. Wants to wheel around on the left. Does so now. Terrible kick off the boot. Shanked that. Through the legs of a couple, and then a goal. And it was as easy as that at the end. So a couple of bad misses from a few people. Connor Giddings is telling everybody about it. Joel O'Dwyer, and that's his third this afternoon already, Connor Giddings. And there's a little bit of how's your father down there with everybody. They're all just enjoying each other's company. And Connor Giddings is enjoying the first quarter here at Stribling Reserve because he has kicked his third goal of the afternoon. And they go to 4-1-25 now, Leopold. St Joey's 4-2-26.
Important question, Kirsch.
Yep.
Is that a goal assist for Max Annandale?
Effectively it is. It doesn't say that the ball has to be in the air.
True.
It's a bit greasy down here at ground
greasy.
level.
It's not wrapped in bloody
butter.
Vaseline.
No. There's no excuses for that kick, but just in general.
Jeez. That's got to be a free kick to Williamson because he was collected high by Ed McCoy. He was in a very vulnerable position, and the non-controlling umpire had to pay that because the controlling umpire had no sight on it. Williamson bounced to his feet when he realised he's got a free kick. Long ball inside 50. Clark on the juggle, just couldn't hang on to it. Tight in the right forward pocket though. Was able to clean up his mess. There's a Leopold player down in back play. That's Annandale. He's on his haunches. Taking the mark was Humphrey. Short kick to Al Hickey. Al Hickey, a handball over the top. Gow. James Hickey latched onto by Matthews. Ball spills out the side. Chance here for Leopold maybe to win the football back at half forward, although coming through was Gow, who took a free kick for too high. A little bit over-enthusiastic was Dan Pitcher, who was another luckless story. Twice he's been dropped for a grand final premiership wins, 2016 and 2024 last year. He played in 23, thankfully.
There is a lot of fumbling now that you mention it. Like the last couple of minutes have been pretty ordinary with that ball, so maybe there's a bit of water still on the ground in some patches.
You can see down here at ground level there's some big tufts that have come up from the surface.
No, we've played 26, but that clock is actually playing as a time-on clock. So the players are going to know, if that continues, the players will actually know how long is left in the game. So we did bounce at 10 past.
Right. Yeah, they're stopping it.
So they're stopping it on the scoreboard, which I don't know whether that's supposed to happen.
I don't think it is.
No, that's really interesting. It should just be a rolling clock. That's interesting. We'll keep an eye on that at quarter time. So 4-1-25 Leopold. St Joey's 4-2-26. Connor Giddings has got 3 for Leopold. Luke Justin's got 1. Hunter Lewis 2. Jack Mullen 2. So 4-2-26 Leopold. 4-1-25. We'll take a break, come back and have a look at that first quarter of action from here at Stribling Reserve. This crowd is unbelievable. Leopold and St Joey's have pulled the right rein here. It's a cracking afternoon. It's not too warm. The sun hasn't come out yet. It's sort of just hovering out to the west. But you can get a really good look at the Southern Ocean from where we are.
Still breathing iron lungs, even no one walks out from this alone. Forgotten, can't fake a feeling, curtain fall final over. Rain pouring over me, not long till the flip subsides. Waste no more energy, can't change an outcome. When it's change, you fear, get over here.
love your projects. Your big paint projects, your little paint projects. We go nuts for kitchen painting projects. We get amped over bathrooms, and we high-five fist pump over your wallpapering the hall project. We love the smell of paint in the morning. We're Inspirations Paint Stores, and together with you, we can do amazing things. What's your next project?
Inspirations Paint, Grovedale, 138 Torquay Road.
At APCO, we know your time is precious. So download the APCO app to skip the queue and pay for your fuel from the comfort of your car. Love our Jaffles and award-winning coffee? Pre-order through the APCO app. No more waiting in line, just grab and go. Shop the way you want, when you want. Just search APCO app in your app store and start saving time today. APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
Update your home with a new floor from Harvey Norman. Great deals on versatile hybrid flooring, including beautiful Australian timber, pine and oak designs from just $45 per square metre. Luxurious oak natural timber flooring from only $85 per square metre. Or family-friendly carpets. Soft, quiet and warm underfoot. Great value from just $17 per square metre. From measure and quote to expert installation in your home. Come on in and see the specialists at Harvey Norman. Your locally owned and operated Harvey Norman, Corio and Warn Ponds.
Metricon gives you freedom to get more of what you really want in a brand new home. More space, more light, and all at a price you can afford. Like the family favourite 4-bedroom Amira 20 with Kingston facade from $223,900. Yes, under 224 grand. But hurry, first 40 buyers only. Search Metricon Homes today. Conditions apply. Exclude site costs. Geelong Build Region. CDBU 52967.
All this footy making you peckish? Time for some Zambrero feel-good mix. Incredible burritos, bowls and nachos. Cooked slow and served fast. With only the freshest, most delicious ingredients. Plus, when you buy a regular or big burrito or bowl, Zambrero donates a meal to someone in need through the Plate for Plate initiative. Feel extra good about every bite. Grab your Zambrero now. Geelong West, Ocean Grove and Torquay. Or order online so you don't miss any of the action. Zambrero, feel good mix.
Thanks to our #1 ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
Quarter time here at Stribling Reserve, 4-1-25, playing 4-2-26. Thanks to Snake, who's had a couple of effective Kerrs High disposals.
He has.
From him with a can of Coke and a can of Coke, no sugar. We're just having a look at the Melbourne score with much interest. Cozzy Pickett's got 4 goals to half time, and Harry Petty's got 3.
There you go.
And Melbourne. At the main break around the grounds for Leopold Sporties earlier today, Geelong VFLW 4-6-30, falling to Box Hill 14-4-88. Ballerine scores the 3 games today. Anglesey 27, Ocean Grove 2, Queenscliff 14, Drysdale 28, Port Arlington 12, Newcombe 35.
There's Jack Duke leg.
I'm about to check to see how many Jack Duke has kicked. I'm just seeing if they're keeping a live tally of scores at that game, and they're actually, by the looks of it, not. They might be, but we're a bit slower here, the internet. Quarter time.
We're in the country.
Cracking first quarter, 4-2-26, 4-1-25. Matt Kershaw in the expert chair for the Sporting Globe. What did you make of that opening term of footy? As both teams probably got a handle on how to play a very different dimension ground to what we're used to in the GFNL.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the theme of that quarter was there was a lot of up and down football. There wasn't a lot of switching the play, getting the ball, as we mentioned, Jace, during the call, to that top side. There hasn't been a much attacking style on that top side. So I think as the game opens up a little bit, there may be a little bit more sort of run and carry through the wings, but we're not going to see that too often today, because normally a centre square is 50 metres, and I think, you know, if it was a genuine ground with 50-metre arcs, they'd all be touching each other on this ground. So we're not going to get too much of, I think, a around the flanks and around the wings today, but more that up and down style, which is probably reflective of the way the game's being played at the moment. But what an even game at the moment. It's just like every aspect of the game. Inside 50s is 13-12, clearances 11-10. These are in favour of St Joseph's. Marks inside forward 55-4 in favour of Leopold, and intercept marks 4 each. So everything is on track to have a close game at the end. Like we mentioned, 3 or 4 points, I think a couple of us have said. But, we've got a cracking game of football. A little bit, what do we say, wet or, a bit damp out there at the moment. We have seen players slip and slide. We have seen players fumble the ball. We have seen a lot of skill errors. So at the moment, even Stevens, as the scoreboard would reflect, and we've got ourselves an absolute brilliant contest.
Curse higher, all the stats, as we go down to Jane Birch, who's standing alongside the coach of St Joseph's, Ron Watt. Birchie?
Yeah, Ron, you'd be pretty pleased with that first quarter. There was a lot to like about it. What impressed you the most?
Oh, good thought. There was a lot to like about it. I loved our contest and our intensity, but I thought we just need to control the ball a little bit more. We had plenty of the ball and we just gave it away a bit. Let them in for 2 or 3 goals that I thought we could have negated or just made a better contest at. But generally, yeah, really liked our quarter.
I thought when you had the ball sort of at half forward, you made some really good decisions. The tendency with a smaller ground would be to bang it in long and, just try and get that territory. But you used the ball really well, used the short option and then went longer when that was on.
Yeah, well, they're the options you give the players and they then have to carry it out when it's out there and they're doing a really good job. They're making decisions under that heat can be pretty tricky, but so far so good. And I think there's a good crowd here and they're in for a good 3 quarters to come.
One final one. Maxi McLaughlin, he's pretty tough. He got a big hit early in the front and then he got one from the back as well, but he's back out there.
Yeah, he is. He's a tough little fella, and that's what we like about him, so I hope it hasn't slowed him down too much.
Thanks so much, Ron.
Jane Birch with Ron Watt. Second quarter action for Hamlin Holmes. Before we get to Jace, what have you picked up, Kirsch?
Yeah, both sides are going with a +1. It looks like St Joseph's instigated the +1, which is interesting on a small ground.
So
there he is there.
Yeah, there he is. And
there's theirs.
And there's Jet Matthews. So it's going into the middle now of Stribling Reserve, and it's going to be picked up by Marcus Thompson. Beautifully picked up as well. Goes towards half forward with the kick. It's all St Joey's. And mark taken by Joel O'Dwyer, gives it away to Luke Webb, runs past, goes from half back to half forward. Morrison, uncontested, takes the mark, wheels and goes. 65 from goal, looks over the back. But Lewis can't take the mark. Umpire said push. Thanks very much. Front on contact, and Hunter Lewis a chance for his third of the afternoon already. And you certainly see the difference, Kirsch, between the two teams. We were talking before the game about St Joey's with their smalls.
Yep.
Have kicked their 4 goals.
Yep.
And Connor Giddings has kicked 3 of the 4. The taller marking blokes for Leopold.
Yeah, absolutely, and we know how dominant the smalls are for St Joseph's. So it's a way they set up with either Edwards or Morrison getting up the ground and leaving them one-on-one. They've made the move. Pitch has gone to him. They've taken Pepper off Hunter Lewis.
Lewis comes in and kicks his third of the afternoon already. At the southern end of the ground, puts his third on the board. They go to 5-2-32 now, St Joey's. They lead Leopold 4-1-25. Hamlin Holmes, K-Rock, second quarter scoreboard. Hamlin Holmes, new custom home in Torquay, open by appointment.
And you know that, Jack Mullen's really good one-on-one. He's quite strong. He can take a good mark. Hunter Lewis is the same. He can take a mark on the lead, one-on-one. He drew the free kick down, but he would have marked it anyway. So he's got some real good skill sets that makes him a very dangerous footballer.
Great crowd in at Stribling Reserve. We can't praise enough the initiative by Leopold and St Joseph's to bring this game away from their traditional homes and play it to a new audience. Umpire Ganacci to put it into the air for McCoy to go at it again against Watts. McCoy getting up, winning the tap down. James Hickey, the roving, a handball that Betson took. Betson fires it back to Harry Smith. Smith back to the voice of Al Hickey. Had a fumble at the inopportune time. Opened the door for Porter. Porter a handball under pressure into the path of Feely. 2:34 is Feely and Smith. See it out of bounds. Feely goes back to Smith. Pretends that he wants to be tough and then decides I don't really want to be with Harry Smith, knowing that he comes from a long line of Smiths who are fairly tough. He worked out very quickly, goes, oh yeah, well, Dad, there's a reason why they called you Dad Diesel.
Exactly right.
Can't be tough with those boots on, Tom, can I tell you? They're very yellow. Ball back in at half forward for Leopold. Watts gets it down to the side. Pup comes back. Handball over the top. Missed touchy then. Back to Betson. His handball to McCoy. Standing start. The ruckman wasn't ready for it. Feely gets it around the corner. Up the chimney. That's not going anywhere. Big pack around at Knights for St Joey's. Gets it away by hand. Gow. Now a set of hands through. Ward gets it towards Al Hickey on the cricket pitch area. Doesn't sit for him. He's held on to a bit too long. The umpire said play on. Ward's handball was terrible. Over the top for St Joey's. And right in the middle of Stribbling Reserve, Thompson wheels it out. Gow again, little kick across the cricket pitch area. Coming at it, Burgess goes with the headband. Right foot kick towards centre half forward. Scott tries to pick it up on the half volley. Porter's there in support for Leopold. Left foot kick from behind. Giddings goes up, can't take the mark. Joel O'Dwyer in front, needs some support and gets some from Ward towards James Hose. Close to the boundary line though, he drops the footy. The umpire says yes, he did. And the free kick to Leopold. Good forward 50 or forward 45 defence. And that man with the Tom Philly boots on, Connor Giddings, has the free kick in front of a large crowd in the Community Club grandstand here, and he'll shoot for goal number 4.
How good would the grand final be here, just out of interest?
Okay, that's interesting.
It would, like, just this, the ampy, like, this is why Queen's Park
absolutely
is.
Yes.
I know it's not easy to play at Queen's Park, but there is this ground is the argument why Queen's Park should be considered for grand finals.
So Connor Giddings, well, he likes to play here because he kicked 3 and he's now kicked 4.
Oh, wow.
That is a great kick, Connor Giddings. That is a Metricon goal of the day from Connor Giddings. Visit the Armstrong Creek display at Banksia Estate off Barwon Heads Road, Metricon. And Connor Giddings has put his 4th on the board. And again, they come close. 5-1-31 now, Leopold. They trail St Joey's 5-2-32. Hamlin Holmes, K-Rock, second quarter scoreboard.
Again, we're just seeing a couple of crucial fumbles. I think Al Hickey's had a couple of fumbles. He was loose off the back. He's the +1, and crucial mistake when you fumble behind the ball when you're on your own. And look, it keeps the ball in there forward half. It locks it in, and then you can't give Connor Giddings any more than a half a sniff because he's going to take it every time. And Hosey was just a little bit too slow.
In conditions that are ideal, we're seeing a cracking game of footy. McCoy won the tap down. Keelan Betson the roving. No Liam today, unavailable, attending a wedding. Paul Hood's words were playing an important role, but he's not the groom. I would say he's possibly the best man, or giving the speech. Tapped down by Watts, roving by Wagner for Leopold, kick inside 50. Annandale came one way, crashed the pack, forced a spillage. Scott had his kick wonderfully smothered by Webb, but it's going to fall for Porter. Porter to Wagner. Wagner is out of tune. He just pushes it to the right and through for a minor score. And we're locked away at 5-2-32 apiece. 5.5 minutes played. Barwon Foods time clock.
Just from His Royal Highness, the coach of South Barwon, will take Kadidia Park. Thanks for the grand final.
It's a very small ground, this one.
South Barwon must be playing some Joey's next week, because that's the only reason Neildy's watching and or listening.
Well played, Neildy. Kick in from Webb. Comes towards grandstand side, towards McCoy. Tapped away to the front. Leopold. Handball. Justin gets it on the top. Over the top to Jennings now. He gets it to Annandale. Left foot kick, top of the square. Here comes Giddings. He's got 3 on him. Punched away at the back. Webb close to the line. Sees it over for a rushed behind to Leopold. And they got it 5-3-33. Take the lead, St Joey's 5-2-32. Hamlin Holmes K-Rock second quarter scoreboard.
I'm guessing Neildy's in paying for us to play at GMHBA Stadium.
Come out of his budget.
I suspect that will hinder a response somewhere along the line.
Yep. Oh, that's why I asked the question. Webb to half back. If you're going to ask a question, you want an answer. There's going to be a free kick in that contest. There's a St Joey's player down. It's Gow on his haunches. Matthews to the run of Burgess. Burgess under pressure. Wasn't the great play on the bounce taken by Al Hickey. Al Hickey fires a handball back. It only goes far back as Burgess, who then gives a handball back to Al Hickey. Although he's lost it in the tackle. In the pocket, taken high. Maybe a free kick, not paid. And the tackle laid by Lunnon Johnson. And we'll get a free kick in the right forward pocket. 5-3-33 plays 5-2-32. 7 minutes played on the Barwon Foods time clock in this second quarter of action, thanks to Hamlin Holmes. New custom home, Chase. It's open to Torquay by appointment.
Yes, it is. Boundary throw in. There's nobody there today. They're all here at Stribbling Reserve. Ball comes over the back. About 45 out from the Leopold goal. Pack develops. The umpire lets it go. Left to come in now and ball it up. Scramble at the bottom. Untangling themselves. Marcus Thompson, surprise at the bottom of the pack. Gives it back to umpire Hubie, who will throw it in the air for McCoy. And Watts, who gets it down. And the piano tuner over the top of it as well. He's not going anywhere. And we're going to have a Another bounce, 45 from the Leopold goal. For Watts. Oh, hang on a minute. Behind the scenes, Feely pushed Zach Knight's off the ball. And Zach Knight's going to take the free kick at half back.
Does, and sends a kick to the wing, looking for Morrison. Spoiled by Jennings off the hands of the pack. Gow for St Joe's, gave it to James Hickey. Wants to cut back on his right boot. Kick wonderfully smothered by Lunnon Johnson. There's going to be a free kick for too high. Going to go to Joey's. Advantage taken by Henderson. Wasn't the greatest of kicks, but it's going to work out okay. Keelan Betson taken by Trent Thompson. Handball released to Gow. Gow looped a handball over the top. Justin, full-chested, wins it. Gives a handball to Wagner. We gave a handball to Porter. Porter bangs a high, long ball. Giddings to set himself. Had to spoil from behind on Webb. Front of the pack, Billy Clark. Great tackle, Webb. Forced a spillage for Kershaw. Kershaw's kick not great to half forward, although Matthews dropped what he should have taken uncontested. Opens the door here for Mullen. Mullen back to Kershaw. Kershaw just fires a handball forward on the bounce. McLaughlin was more worried about Matthews, and Feely's going to end up with it. Into the path of Justin, trying to keep it alive. Brislane there as well for Leopold. It's off hands and out of bounds. It's knocked away by Mullen for a boundary throw-in below our best seats in the house. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. Grab a fast Twitch energy drink at APCO Cafe 24/7, and it's Joey's 32, trailing Leopold 33 in a cracking Easter Saturday clash.
So a throw in for McCoy and Watts. Boundary umpire. Good boundary throw in. Watts in front. McCoy got a hand to it and tried to get a second one. Watts, though, he got a kick, was partly smothered. Over the top, goes towards centre wing. Scott in front, pushed past the football. Now in the middle of the cricket pitch area, the piano tuner got a handball just on the up, but teammate fell over there at the crucial stage. That was Lunnon Johnson. Comes back the other way. McLaughlin, he gets the handball away towards Betson, who runs through the middle. Feely behind the play. We'll keep an eye on that. Ball goes towards Mullen. He got pushed past the football. Jet Matthews, the reptile, over the top. He gets it towards Watts. He can't take it. Little kick off the ground. They might have to stop play here. It's close towards where Feely is. Handball comes back to Trent Thompson. Takes the tackle from McLaughlin. That's David and Goliath. And we will have a ball up at half forward for St Joey's. But Tom Feely is going to come off under the auspices of the trainers, and he's in a bit of trouble with a leg injury.
I think he rolled his ankle.
Okay.
It didn't look great, to be honest. Yeah.
You just hope it's not syndesmosis or similar. Birchie, keep an eye on that as he comes towards you for St John of God. St John of God Hospital, caring for our community for 50 years. It's not a blood rule.
No, it's not.
It's not a stretcher. We just need to get the game going, don't we?
Yep.
Like, he's not in a dangerous area for the footy. Either way, we have got this slight pause in play. And we've got the rolling clock back, by the way, too.
Yes. Sure, Arthur fixed that up for us.
And Watts won the tap down. Gow did the roving, though, for Joey's. A high floating ball inside forward 50, back with the flight. Trent Thompson, the spoiler. Pepper went to ground. Mullen went over the top of him. Ball not coming out. And sort of supermaning on the ground is Pepper to say, well, I don't have the ball, so you can't ping me for holding the ball. And we'll get a ball up right forward pocket at the western end of the ground.
So Watts gets it down for Leopold, back towards the tuner. A little free kick for a hold, and it's going to be a St Joey's free kick. Jack Mullen has got the free kick. Oh, Logan Wagner needs to be careful there. He took a long time to give the footy back. But it's going to be Jack Mullen, who's kicked two already.
Got a bit nervous, and Pepper just holding on.
Yep, he's a bit shaky. You like that?
Like it.
Like it.
He's cracked.
Well done. Yeah, you win. Good work. So the condiment stands on the line, on the goal, and it's going to be a Jack Mullen kick from 40 out, 45-degree angle. He comes in, right foot kick. Oh, close. Goal umpire comes back to the mill and says, all clear for Jack's third. And the sixth for St Joey, 6-2-38. They reclaim the lead, Leopold, 5-3-33. Hamlin Holmes, K-Rock, second quarter scoreboard, and the experts chair. Thanks to the Sporting Globe. The Sporting Globe, Geelong, eat, drink, sport. Here's Kirsch.
It's not pretty footy. It's a great contest, but it's not pretty footy. It's not free-flowing. It really is old-school kick to stoppage or kick to a contested situation at the moment. And as soon as the ball gets inside forward 50, it's scrappy. But it's a contest. It's a great contest, but it's just not free-flowing at the moment.
Werribee 11-7-73 fall just short of Sydney 11-9-75. They made a late charge, did the Tigers, but the reigning premier drop another one. Hasn't been a great start to their premiership defence. Wagner got one high. Umpire Jones didn't see it that way.
It was high or holding the ball, one of the two.
And then James Hickey's put Wagner on his Tijuana brass, and we'll get another ball up. Watts winning the tap down, tried to put it into space for somebody to run on to. Ash coming off the edge of the square did okay, but he had his kick smothered. Spills for Nernadis, a handball that was just out of the reach of Kershaw. Did well to reel it back in, then Porter gobbled him up like Pac-Man. Umpire said, give it to me, I'll ball it up at left half forward.
Well, again, that could have been over the shoulder or holding the ball.
Boys, just an update on Tom Feely. He's going up into the rooms. It's a left knee, the inside of the knee.
Okay, keep an eye on that. Thank you, Birchie, for St John. God, James Hickey, the clearing kick, and Edwards on the juggle is marked uncontested. True centre wing, broadcast side, right next to the boundary line in front of a big crowd at Stribbling Reserve on Easter Saturday. Called to play on, so has to key out over the outstretched arms of Burgess to half forward. Trent Thompson set himself in the front, spoiled from Betson at the back. Pepper was just a little bit slow to react, and McLaughlin brought him to ground. Pepper trying to release the footy. Umpire says, I'll ball it up. About 41 from goal, so they're playing 45s. If you've just joined us on KRockFootball.live or AFL Barwon TV, those arcs are not 50s, they're 45s on this shorter length Stribbling Reserve.
Morrison got it down the ruck for St Joey's. He holds it up in there as well with with Harris Jennings.
Might tell you how this quarter's going, Jace. We had 9 marks inside forward, 50 in the first quarter. We've had nothing this quarter.
Yep. We were talking about that Kirsch before in terms of how it was contested. Contest here again. It's a contest from the ruck contest. Pepper over the top of it, close to the boundary line. McLaughlin. And ball still in dispute. And another comment from well, some person has just walked in the box. I've got no idea who she is, but she owns lawn, can I tell you? Mrs. Riddle. And
Jennings doing the ruck work as it's thrown in at right half forward for St Joey's, right on the 45. Wagner, nice chain of handball. Burgess to burst away to half back. His handball for Ash. Ash is going to have to knock it to advantage. Did okay, try to go back to Burgess. There's going to be a free kick. Ash got a push in the back, and then he copped a boot in the face from teammate Burgess. Short kick. Scott, we haven't caught a lot of Sammy Scott in this one, but he's marked there a kick that barely went 15. Now he'll play on from about 55. Got a really good piece of it, but in getting distance has pulled it to the left and put it through for a minor score, and the margin is 4. Second quarter, K-Rock, Hamlin home score.
With a terrible kick, Trent Thompson takes the mark easily on centre wing. So Leopold turnover. I wonder what the lights look like here too at Stribbling. We're going to find out later on, I think. Ball back inside 50. Big pack over the back. Annandale couldn't take it. Harry Smith, his handball missed Humphrey. He's going to be able to keep it in though. His handball over the top to James Hickey. Just had to tap it on because he knew he was going to get under pressure. Tackled. Handball on the up. Came from Clark back to Humphrey. St Joey's murky, but they've turned the ball over again. And it is K-Rock's own. Jet Matthews goes with a right foot kick. He turns it over. Morrison at centre half back for St Joey's. So this is turnover central at the moment.
Nothing forward though, and he wants the middle, and he wants Mullen, who dropped what he would normally take. Jennings a good tackle, got a handball back, and now the kick towards the wing is okay. Kershaw under pressure from pitcher takes a good mark on the chest. Wants to get a handball on the up and does so to Nernadis, who had to shrug off a tackle, gave a handball back to Webb, took on Ash, kicked on his non-preferred left, inside 50. It was a hack ball that Justin actually judged best. As things have tightened up at Ron Evans Oval, Port 6 straight, Newcombe 6-5, kick wide. Pitcher will be happy to see that kick of Justin out. He was struggling to get out of his own way there, Dan Pitcher. I think he was happy to see it out because Liam Kershaw was ready to pounce. And we'll have it hurled back into play. So a mouth-watering match-up down at Port. Not often we say that about games being played at Port Arlington in the last 30 years, but it's living up to its billing.
Boundary throw in here on centre wing. Front of the broadcast box. The ball comes from now at the back to Antonak. Got one high. Should get a free kick. Will it be advantage? It sort of could have been to Edwards, but the umpire's going to bring it back. So Louis Antonak's going to take the free kick on centre wing.
Antisocial Leopold at times?
Very. Yes. Very much so. There's a bit of niggle in there. Just a little bit of niggle. Louis Antonak has got the free kick on centre wing. He chips the ball short. Hickey takes the mark. Back end of the centre square. Al Hickey's kick was okay. And finds James. He goes from the middle of Stribbling, goes long inside 50. Betson gets it to the front. Hose had to ride the tackle. Ball spilled free. And still fighting hard for Ward over the back. His handball was okay to Antonak outside of the right foot towards the goal square. Goal! And Edwards was standing there right in front of everybody else. And he has kicked the goal.
just in back play, Luke Justin was really fierce in a tackle on James Hickey. Now, it wasn't the tackle that's hurt James Hickey. James Hickey's head has whiplashed the ground, and he's actually going to come from the ground for St John of God. Just keep an eye on that. Might be an HIA down there, Birchie, concussion test for James Hickey, because his head really, I saw it happen as the ball cleared away. Just the head really thumped into the turf here at Stribling.
Yeah, and he had a word to the umpire as he ran past, because he actually kicked the ball and it was a late hit off the ball, no down the ground or anything like that. But the first time St Joseph's have taken the ball off the line, they looked a little bit better. The ball was sort of a bit more freer going inside their forward half.
Giddings from the middle gets it for Leopold and spears into Annandale. Great play, Connor Giddings. In fact, it was Harris Jennings it was. Yeah, Jennings it was in the ruck, who just took it away from McCoy, did his own roving work, and as he did in the second half of the first term, went to the ruck, and he then speared the ball to Max Annandale, who shoot for goal from 45 out, 45-degree angle.
Where did we see Jennings do that? Grab it out of the ruck and take control of the game. Colac last year, Kirsch won't remember though.
Oh,
yes.
Kirsch was asleep by
That's
then.
the longest day ever.
Annandale comes in now, favours the left foot, 45 out, goes with the kick, and he has missed. Through for one behind, so just a let off there for St Joey's. 5-5-35 now. Leopold, St Joey's 7-2-44. Hamlin Holmes, K-Rock's second quarter scoreboard.
A great play out of the middle, wasn't it, Ben, by Jennings? It was a fantastic hit up, and that's all you need on this ground. Just a little hit up inside.
One kick, don't you? That's it, done.
Margin is 9. Webb with the kick-in duties as we played 19 minutes on the Barn Food second quarter time clock. Webb will send it towards the ocean side, looking for McCoy. Got a little nudge there from Watts. Umpire didn't see it. Justin, did he get one high as Betson came over the top? He didn't. Umpire says give it to me, I'll pull it up. So Luke Justin's actually been involved in a couple of incidents this afternoon. And it'll be interesting to see whether that one with James Hickey is looked at. We'll get to Birchie in a moment for an update. McCoy won the tap down, slung in the tackle Brislane, and brought to ground by Betson as we go down to you, Birchie, for St John of God.
Yeah, he seems to be all right on the bench here. I'm just wondering whether he sort of got the wind taken out of his sails with the collision, and then you obviously saw his head make a little bit of contact. But no, he seems to be sitting at the bench there, and everything seems to be all right.
Thanks, Birchie. St John got injury update there, and the ball is going to be on centre wing on the outer side. Both sides working. A free kick's going to get found now for High. It comes from Betson, who gave away the free kick to Brock Williamson, who will take the free kick for the Lions. Plays on now. Goes towards centre half forward on a long lead. No mark taken. Harry Smith, or to push past Thompson. Ash got one high. The umpire said yes. 45 from goal, Nick Ash. And Al Hickey, who just pushes him away again. Be careful to get a 50. Thought about the handball to Marcus Thompson, but he's just going to go back now. Well, he thought about the handball as well.
Because if anybody can't kick the 45, it's the diminutive Nick Ash.
He's got plenty of blokes running past trying to get the handball. But
every player has run past him.
The only one what Trent Thompson didn't, he ran away from him.
It'd be better to set this up to the top of the square.
Well, I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to put it up towards the top of the square, but St Joey's were mindful of it, and Harry Smith took the mark in the last line defence for St Joey's.
Next time he puts his hand up as he's coming in on his approach, you know what he's doing.
Smith to half back, wants Webb crunched by 2. He'll win a free kick for a push. Coming really hard. Was that Luke Justin again getting involved? And Lewis, as you not surprisingly, is bounced to his feet. He's called to play on, and coming in from behind with Scott delay a tackle. He got a handball to Webb, across the face of his defensive goal to the very upright Knights. Knight sends it towards the outer wing. Clark's got out the back, judged it well, took the mark on the chest. Handball release. They're on the burst now through Henderson. Henderson to the pocket. Mullen, that's a good build-up on the outer side.
And it starts drizzling down here now, so it'll be a little bit more scrappy perhaps in the next 5 minutes or so.
Thank you for that, Birchie. And there's some of those in front of us either looking for some shelter or a little bit of protection in terms of their clothing. And Jack Mullen, he's had some sort of first half. Kick 3 and he's looking for a 4th. Tight in the left forward pocket. Eastern end of the ground. Would have to start at the right-hand goal post. That's where he has started. It's actually faded off. And there's a mark being claimed on the line. We're going to get a consultation between the goal and field umpires to see whether Oscar Morrison or McCoy has marked that. And it is going to be paid a mark. Boundary umpire comes in, has his 2 cents worth. And what are we going to get? We are going to get a mark paid to Ed McCoy in the right forward pocket.
Oh.
So the big fella from Torquay
Oh, he's played on.
He stepped out, snapped the banana, and it's gone far too skinny and through for a minor score.
Leopold didn't argue too much, Kingy. They thought, well, the ruckman's got it. It'll be just fine.
Margin is 10 on the second quarter. K-Rock Hamlin home scoreboard. St Joey's 7-3-45. Leopold a 5-5-35.
Burgess plays on from fullback for Leopold, goes towards centre wing. Giddings, got one high, didn't he? The umpire said play on. Now the ball's still in dispute. Annandale in there as well. And Hose as well for St Joseph's. Pack develops umpire will come in, and Connor Giddings still
wondering what happened.
Still wondering what happened. He basically got accosted in the tackle. He's off and run away. So we're going to have a ball up just forward of centre wing for St Joey's. McCoy and Watts. McCoy got it down. Matthews tried to tap it on, only as far as Gow. Handball to Betson, off a step inside 50. Oh, look, Justin everywhere at the moment. The man with two first names, he takes the mark.
Isn't that 50 if Louis Antonek's holding him up like that?
Absolutely.
Well, the +1's working there, Jace, for them.
It is.
Justin brings it wide to Jennings, who marks it left half back. He'll spend some time in the ruck. The high-flying number 11. But at half back at the moment, sends it long to half forward. Annandale's target, a little bit too much carry on the kick for him. Ground level, Williamson really hasn't involved himself in the contest yet. Billy Clark, handball release. Wagner pushed as he kicked, and it just affected the kick enough to allow O'Dwyer in. Although the ball at half back, we'll see Wagner run onto it. Geez, he's just everywhere, and then Webb over the top. No free kick. Gee, it appeared there could have been something paid there. It wasn't, and we'll get a ball up at right half forward for Leopold. Ocean side, or Bass Strait side of the ground, as I'm reliably informed. I called it Southern Ocean, but apparently it's still Bass Strait there, and Southern Ocean starts a little bit further west.
Thanks for that, Rob Gell. Ball comes back. Ball back towards Williamson. Kick off the ground by Cooper Ward. Went backwards 35 metres to Al Hickey's. Handball over the top to nobody in particular. Pitcher runs at it. Hickey puts the tackle on him. And we have the ball up 45 out from goal.
Port Arlington 10 straight, lead at Newcombe 8-5.
Jeez, there's no wind at Port either.
Might be a cracking day down there today.
Ball up 45 from goal. And Pack still their ball. Spills to the side. Hose put a tackle on. Pretty scrambly. A lot of under 14 footy going on here. Pepper tried to get it. Porter tried to get it out. Now they get it to the top of the square. Clark against Humphrey. Oh, Annandale was he held on to? Umpire said no. Through for one behind to Leopold. And it's going to go. I think they've. I think it's 5-6-36 Leopold. Back to St Joey's 7-4-46. Hamlin Holmes K-Rock second quarter scoreboard.
I reckon that might not even be right. I reckon it might be 7-3-45 to 5-6-36.
Yes, you are right. Correct.
So we're just waiting for the ball to come back, and now it's kicked in, and Betson has marked in the left back pocket. He'll go with a high ball towards half back. Brislane and Clark there. McCoy trying to keep it alive by knocking it back towards Henderson and Gow. And only got as far as Brislane, who wants to get himself involved with James Gow. He wasn't happy with the contact there, and the first gamer, he's happy to take it up to the star mid from St Joey's. And then in a push and shove, the umpire's thrown the ball and it's allowed to hit the ground. It's going to roll to Daniel Pitcher. He gets a freebie, handball away, back towards Justin, who's taken high. And the umpire has paid a push in the back, in fact, to Luke Justin. Justin swings onto his left boot quickly, sends it towards forward 50. Bouncing ball, Thompson, rare foray forward for him. Fumble, time to recover. Got a handball away, back towards Wagner. Putting his head over the footy was Neonatus. Wagner is down. That was a heavy collision with Neonatus. Trying to step his way through Al Hickey. Got it to James Hickey by hand on the bounce. He tried to get a handball away. McCoy below his knees. That was tough darts for him. Ball still inside 50 for Leopold. Thompson came flying through, and below the knees contact as Wagner now finds himself just back up on his feet and waiting for a free kick. But he's never going to come. And now 50-metre penalty as well. I don't know whether that's against Wagner. I reckon Wagner might have given Steve Ganacci a mouthful. And 50s on this ground are not smart play. And a chance now to go inside forward 50. The pass is dropped by McLaughlin. Trent Thompson coming out, knocked it towards James Hickey. James Hickey was taken high. Just was able to drop at the knees and roll the shoulders at the right time on Trent Thompson. And James Hickey can go back and have a shot to push the margin back to 15 points.
Should have given the first one and they would have been away anyway.
Queenscliff giving some cheek to Drysdale. 4-6-30 trail Drysdale. 5-6-36 Anglesey in control. 8-4-52 Ocean Grove 3-2-20. Around the grounds for Leopold Sporties.
So it's going to be a kick from 45. James Hickey for St Joey's. Southern end of the ground. Oh, he has put that into the Hotel Motel around the corner. That is out of bounds on the full. That's a terrible kick.
Kicked it like Dennis Hickey.
Oh, Dennis Hickey. Oh, gee whiz. Good bowl, Dennis. Good bowl. And it's going to be a free kick. Last line defence. Burgess goes long towards half back. Oh, Harry Smith did beautifully. Kershaw, right foot kick back to whence it came. Punched away. Leopold with the numbers. Pepper gets the handball away. Burgess handball over the top. Tate Porter, sitting duck, got the kick away under pressure. Might be okay. Jennings runs up. Oh, could have taken the mark. Didn't take it in the end, but needs some support. He taps it out. Billy Clark handball over the top's okay. The Reptile gets it short. Matthews goes. And they're going to be able to switch the play towards the opposite side. Half-back flank taking the mark. Lunnon Johnson.
Lunnon Johnson chips a kick over the top into the post of Wagner. Beats Nernadis to the footy. He turns and kicks quickly because he sees Brislane all alone. Liked his debut so far, that a young number 30. He sends it to the pocket there, and you give a bloke a rap, and he lets himself down. He wanted Annandale circling around the back of a couple of St Joey's defenders, and it just bounces out of bounds in the right forward pocket. Probably a better result than a behind Kirsch.
Yeah, absolutely, because it was an absolute shank of a kick. Just had to get it to a one-on-one, and he just couldn't do that. So, great result. They get to restart.
Right forward pocket, boundary throw in, school end of the ground or eastern end. Tapped down by Watts. Ball deflected back to him. He's actually going to find it at ground level. He's going to snap over his left shoulder but pull it too far, and Annandale couldn't reel it in. And then he whacks into the left-hand behind post and now shakes 8, 9, 10 times. And it's a minor score, and the margin is 8. 5-7-37. Leopold now inaccurate after being 4-1 at quarter time. They're 1-6 in this second term. Joey's a 7-3-45.
I really like that contest today, McCoy and Watts. I think McCoy's had a really good game so far for the first half, and he'd probably have the points at this stage, but yeah, it's been a really great contest.
Webb, tremendous kick into centre wing. Set a task for McLaughlin to get out there and get it. He does, and he kicks the ball over the top. Sets a bit of a task for Kershaw. He gets pushed by his own man in the end. Harry Smith, who came in, Thompson, and he gets it to Ash. Short little kick to Thompson. Marcus takes the mark. Pup now back inside. He's okay. Billy Clark takes it back end of half back. He goes to the opposite side, trying to switch the ball again. They get it out to the man with two first names, Luke Justin.
Justin been busy in many different ways this afternoon. Short to Jennings. Jennings back to where Burgess was with it originally at left half back. Thompson was also involved. He can go short to Thompson, and Thompson leading up McLaughlin takes the mark. The veteran number 3 has it at left half back. 30 minutes played on the Barwon Food time clock. It's an 8-point St Joseph's lead. It's not a great kick off the boot, but it'll work out all right. Williamson makes it good. Sees an open goal square, so he sends it long to Scott going back with the flight. Gow did well. Defensive spoil with the left hand was elite. Knocked it out of bounds, boundary throw in. Williamson's kick had to have more penetration, I reckon, going back with the flight to allow Scott to take it over his shoulder. In the end, it's out of bounds, boundary throw in as Leopold looked to press a late one in this second term.
So throw in front of a packed grandstand here at Stribling. The boundary throw in for McCoy and Watts. McCoy in front. James Hickey to run onto it. Al's there as well. He gets the clearing kick back towards half back, but it's all Leopold. Mitch Burgess takes the mark.
He rates himself from here.
Well, he's better on the run, Mitchie, probably. But he's got a little bit of more wind resistance too now with all that hair on his head and the headband, and he's going to shoot for goal from 45. He's on the run sort of now, right foot kick, and he sprayed it because he ran way out to the right and brought it too far back to the left, and it's through for one behind. So we go to 5-8-38 now. Leopold, St Joey 7-3-45. Hamlin Holmes, K-Rock, a second quarter scoreboard.
31-20 played on the Barwon Foods time clock. Webb looked to the outer side, looked to the corridor, and decided it is the outer side that he wants to go to. Sends it long, bets on his target. Jennings there off the hands of the pack. Ben Clark is there for Joey's. Try to barge his way through. Ball spills. Brislane's been good. Neat little kick is okay for Richie, who on the bounce. Scott a little fumble. Ash tried to knock it to his own advantage. Couldn't. Had to lay a tackle in the end. And forces a stoppage right on half time.
Free kick.
There is a free kick going which way?
Leopold.
For holding the ball?
No, too high.
Too high. Okay, I didn't see that through the peepers. And the free kick is going to go which way?
No free kick.
No, I didn't think I saw one.
He did, so he paid it too high, but he actually paid it before the siren went. And he's then called time after the free kick was issued.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
We're at half-time. That second quarter, thanks to Hamlin Holmes. Leopold adding an inaccurate 1-goal-7. Joey's adding 3 goals, 1. There is discussion taking place. Birchie's down there as well. So the 3 umpires are conferring. Umpires Ganachia, Hubie and Jones. And they are headed from the ground, and we will leave it at that for this first half of action. A cracking first half of footy. Some high-quality goals have been kicked. There's been some ordinary footy as well, as you'd expect early in the season, but a game that is well and truly up for grabs. Still more conversation going on between the umpires. They haven't left the ground yet. They were headed for the ground. Not sure whether they're just waiting for the goal umpires to confer on the score on the big screen. We have the margin at 7 points, 5-8-38. St Joey 7-3-45. Whether that'll get adjusted or not, I'm not too sure. But down to you, Jane Birch. Birchie, who have you got with you? Just making your way over.
I'll just see who I can grab here. They've sort of gathered at the far end of the ground, so I'll just grab Felix Henderson.
Down to you, Birch. You got Felix Henderson with you.
Talk to me about the conditions down here. How are you finding it? I've just said to the boys, it's pretty spongy underfoot and a little bit greasy. There's been a few turnovers and it's been a bit scrappy. Is that how you've been finding it?
Yeah, it's a little bit wet and humid, but I think we're playing the conditions as best we can. I mean, it's a pretty even contest, so I think we'd be happy with that return half time. And it's a really physical game. I mean, anyone coming to watch this game that perhaps hasn't watched GFL, I think would be noticing that in the first half. There's been some really big hits, and it's about players attacking the ball in the air, but also some really good tackles. It's really physical out there. Yeah. Round 1 or 2 or whatever it is, it's Team Leopold, and we're trying to be a great team as well. So yeah, a really good hit out to start the year.
Thanks for your time. Good luck for the second half.
Thank you, Birchie. Jane Birch down boundary side for Leopold Sporties, your complete family venue. It's half-time. Thanks to Blackman's Brew, the ultimate half-time beer made in Geelong. We'll come back and have a look at that first half, but also go around the grounds for Leopold Sporties, AFL, VFLW, and also Ballerine action with 3 games today being played in round 3 of the BFL season. Back shortly. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. Grab a fast twitch energy drink. Live, breathe. K-Rock Footy.
Still breathing iron lungs, even no one walks out from this alone. Forgotten, can't fake a feeling, curtain fall final over. Rain pouring over me, not long till the foot subsides. Waste no more energy, can't change an outcome. When it's changed, you feel it over here.
Since a bloke named Bill started cutting timber in a mill back in 1980, Barwon Timber's been the builder's best mate ever since. Whether you're stick framing or need prefab frames and trusses, Barwon Timber's got what you need for every building stage. Geelong owned and operated with trade quality products in stock, ready to go. Barwon Timber, Fellmongers Road, Breakwater. The team that builders just keep coming back for.
I'm going down to Barwon Timber.
Time to take a look at the stats for the game so far. Thanks to Kerrs High, we have Bruce.
Oh, yes. Well, we've got some exciting weekends ahead, that's for sure. They've got the range, the quality, a strong team. In fact, did you know they've clocked up over 40 years in Geelong?
The Cats. They've been around a bit more than that, Bruce.
Oh, no. Kerrs Higher.
What about the stats for the game?
Well, statistically, I shouldn't even be here. I've got a patio to pay.
Kerrs Hire, North Geelong, Grovedale and Ocean Grove. KerrsHire.com.au.
Get a good night's sleep with Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Ponds. Quality mattresses by Temper, Sealy Posturepedic, Sleepmaker and King Coil by AH Beard with major savings. Adjustable bed bases, bed frames, kids' bedroom furniture, bunk beds and storage pieces. Customisable Australian-made bedroom furniture to suit your space and style. Luxurious pillows, quilt covers, sheet sets and more. Get behind the Cats this season with your locally owned and operated Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Ponds.
Here's another powerful reason to choose Tyre Power. At Tyre Power, you deal with owners who are proudly independent. We're not just tyre experts. Tyres are our life and livelihood. And because many Tyre Power owners are part of your local community, you can trust our family to look after yours. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local.
APCO, fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
Thanks to Blackman's Brewery. It's half-time at Stribling Reserve in Lorne, and it's St Joey's holding sway by 7 points, 7-3-45. Leopold 5-8-38. Leopold had some opportunities in that second quarter, but kicked 1 goal, 7-3-45. Joey's kicking 3 goals, 1 to turn what was a 1-point advantage into a 7-point lead at the main break. Tom King, Jason Doherty, Matt Kershaw bringing you all the action. Jane Birch is also here. Birchie's down boundary side, just loitering with intent for Leopold Sporties, a complete family venue. Where are you, Birchie, right now, if anywhere? Can you hear us? Might not have Birchie for the moment. We will get Birchie back just for an update injury-wise for St John of God, and of course Leopold Sporties, your complete family venue. Kirsch, just some key numbers you're keeping an eye on, please, thanks to our friends at Kerrs High. 3 locations: North Geelong, Grovedale and Ocean Grove.
Yeah, in a game like today, we're looking at the key numbers, which are inside 50s clearances, marks inside forward 50, and in particular intercept marking, as both teams are pretty good at both. So inside 50s at the moment, and as indicative of the score and indicative of the game as it has been throughout the day, that everything is pretty tight, as you can imagine. Inside 50s at 29-27. Both teams on track for around about 60, I reckon, at this stage, given the size of the ground. So 29-27 in favour of St Joseph's. Clearances even again, 21-19 in favour of St Joseph's. Marks inside forward 50, as we spoke about during the call, they dropped off that quarter, but if you have a look at the tackles and the pressure acts, they probably went up tenfold in that quarter, and it became a bit of a unforced error, skill error style of football. So that's probably indicative of the marks inside forward 50 being a bit lower. Intercept marks 9 apiece. That's probably indicative as well of the game. Both sides average about 15 a game, so they're on track to double those figures for the day. But yes, tight contest. Pressure acts, as mentioned, were up, which is forcing a fair bit of skill error at the moment. The conditions, the weather, it's been drizzly, so a little bit more slippery and fumbly, but we've still got a great contest on our hands.
Absolutely, and we've got one of the greatest views you will find anywhere in the world when it comes to sport. Looking out over the Bass Strait, there were surfers out there a bit early. It looks like they've come in, probably not finding much in the way of waves today, but what an absolute scene it is here at Stribling Reserve. Birchie's joined us back in the K-Rock box. Birchie, injury-wise, St John of God, we've been keeping an eye on a couple of things, but what's caught your attention? Probably Tom Feely, the most pressing for the Polders.
Yeah, Tom Feely's the most significant one, that's for sure. It's a left knee issue. They were sort of assessing the inside of that. He went up into the rooms. He hasn't come back out, so they probably wouldn't be taking any chances on him, I wouldn't think, if it is a knee injury. There was a few heavy hits out there as well. So, you know, Max McLaughlin, like we mentioned previously, had the wind taken out of his sails. Young Riley Kershaw, down here, he went up for a mark and sort of got crunched front on by a teammate, friendly fire. But yeah, it is very physical out there. There's a few sore bodies already, but Logan Wagner too. I will keep an eye on him in the second half, because he got a big hit late in that quarter and was a little bit, agitated after that. So we'll just keep an eye on him too.
Do you reckon Logan?
Yeah, Logs. He's been a bit quiet today at the piano tuner, and I was going to put the acid on him at the start of the game and say, listen, I've tipped you for the Matheson, so you need to play well every week.
Yeah,
both haven't.
They've been really quiet.
Yeah. The piano tuner agitated? No way. Really?
Really? Yeah.
Who would have thought?
More than normal.
More than normal.
Justin, too, don't worry about that. He hasn't missed many.
Do you reckon Luke Justin's going to get a few mentions in the MRP report?
I think there might be 3.
Yeah,
no, not indicating anything, but
yeah.
He's played with a physical presence today.
He'll be assessed.
Yes,
would be the best way to describe it. Let's go around the grounds for Leopold Sporties. 3 Bellarine games today. Anglesey 58, lead Ocean Grove 28. Queenscliff 31, putting up a good fight against Drysdale 42. Port Arlington 12 straight 72.
Goal kicking coach was a little pat on the back.
Lead Newcombe 10-5 65.
You've been down there this week,
not this week, I haven't.
A little bit of a wedge.
See if we can find who the respective goal kickers are. Just need this page to load. When it does, I will let you know who's kicking them for the respective teams. 3/4 time at the MCG. Melbourne 15-5 95. The Dockers 11-10-76, so the Demons look like finding themselves on the winners list there. Pickett with 5, Petty with 4 in a new look
going forward
with a different Melbourne forward line. Some talk Jack Ginnivan might not be in the Hawthorn team Monday. Might be playing for Box Hill tomorrow.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate for no one, so that's good.
Here's the discussion. Taya Miles has kicked 4, Connor Menadue's kicked 3, Tom Panuccio's kicked 2, and Mitch Turnbull's kicked 2. Now, that's not a bad effort from Tom Panuccio, who
I was going to say, I thought he was injured, wasn't he?
Body issue, yeah, that they were a bit concerned about. Jake Watson's kicked 3, Jack Duke has kicked 3 for the Power.
So the fullback hasn't kicked out yet, Kingy.
No, for Newcombe, no.
Hasn't got any.
Probably Richie Hollins or somebody like that.
He's probably a bit down on stats today.
Not getting too much. We need to take another break, come back, have a look at the Breakwater Meadowland head-to-head on the other side of this. But right now, we've got a cracker. Leopold and St Joey's. The scoreboard here is actually being wiped for the moment, but it is Joey's 7-3-45, leading Leopold 5-8-38. Thanks to Blackman's Brewery, the ultimate halftime beer made right in Geelong. Looks like we'll be back shortly. Lip Brief, Carol Footy.
K-Rock's Tim and Jess.
So they're calling it a mini-moon. Essentially, it's just like a small asteroid. It's about 10 metres wide. It's coming so close to the Earth that it's getting picked up by the
gravitational pull.
And it's going to do one loop
and then
get flung straight back out into the universe.
Yeah. But can we give it a more catchy name?
Murray the Moon.
Murray the Moon. There we go.
Excellent.
That's all I needed.
They're expecting Murray to start his orbit as of September 29.
That's nice. Now I'm worried for Murray. The Murray worry is quite high. But thank you very much.
Voted by a panel of their peers to most likely make you laugh whilst driving home in 2025. Tim and Jess on K-Rock. Your future, your hands. Study at the Gordon.
Since a bloke named Bill started cutting timber in a mill back in 1980, Barwon Timber's been the builder's best mate ever since. Whether you're stick framing or need prefab frames and trusses, Barwon Timber's got what you need for every building stage. Geelong owned and operated with trade quality products in stock, ready to go. Barwon Timber, Fellmongers Road, Breakwater. The team that builders just keep coming back for.
I'm going down to Barwon Timber.
Hamlin Homes, with over 40 years of commitment building homes throughout Geelong and the Surf Coast. Hamlin Homes is family operated, born, raised and living in Geelong and committed to thriving into the future. Committed to building quality, sustainable homes. Committed to supporting you throughout using premium quality materials, including a roof made from Colorbond steel. Hamlin.com.au. CDB-U 52938.
All this footy making you peckish? Time for some Zambrero feel-good mix. Incredible burritos, bowls and nachos. Cook slow and serve fast with only the freshest, most delicious ingredients. Plus, when you buy a regular or big burrito or bowl, Zambrero donates a meal to someone in need through the Plate for Plate initiative. Feel extra good about every bite. Grab your Zambrero now. Geelong West, Ocean Grove and Torquay. Or order online so you don't miss any of the action. Zambrero, feel good mix.
At Harvey Norman, Corio and Warn Ponds, meet the next generation of computing power, the new Intel Ultra processors. With AI and Windows Copilot, these computers have never been faster or smarter. For technology that's not just ahead of the curve, but bending the curve, talk to Geelong's experts in tech and discover how you can upgrade your world. Harvey Norman, Corio and Warn Ponds, proudly bringing you the future of computers. Now.
Thanks to our #1 ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
Halftime thanks to Blackman's Brewery, the ultimate halftime beer made in Geelong. Both teams back out on Stribling Reserve, and it's a 7 points in Joey's lead. 7-3-45, Leopold 5-8-38. Just waiting for Kirsch to return. He's just being a man of the people for his Breakwater Meadowland head-to-head. Thompson versus Gow. Well, do it for him.
No, he's coming up now. James Gower's got it big time, massively. He's got
first high.
He's got 9 kicks, 3 marks, 4 tackles, 4 clearances, and 5 inside 50s against a pup who's got 7 kicks, no marks, no tackles, 2 clearances, 2 marks, and 2 inside 50s. So
Breakwater Meadowland.
Well and truly James Gower at the moment.
Still projects made easy.
Too late. I've done your medal to Breakwater Meadowland.
What did you do?
Head. I told you James Gower was well in front.
Oh, is that all you did?
You like that? No, I did the stats, thanks to Curse High.
But obviously we mentioned Zach Knight's role on Marcus Thompson, and Marcus Thompson had to go forward a bit. So interesting that they've gone with a +1 and a tag in this game. So it's probably conducive to the way the style of the game's being played at the moment.
Yeah, obviously it would have been a battle of Butter and Killer, but Luke Kelly finding out about this coaching caper early in his tenure.
Absolutely, and that's the best way to do it as well. Baptism of fire straight into the side that was undefeated last year and bombed it in the finals. But you get a great contest first up. I don't think Luke Kelly would be wearing any outfits or anything.
No, I don't think that would be
throughout
Luke.
the season.
Although Rick Munn's taken obviously a little bit of
Certainly has, and hey, worked for them, so you probably take whatever advantage you can get.
72-65. Port Arlington leads Newcombe at half-time. Port Arlington have kicked 12 straight. No, not 11-6, not 10-12, but 12 straight to 10-5. Anglesey 58, Ocean Grove 28, Drysdale 42. Lead Queenscliff at the Cooter Bowl by 11. AFL three-quarter time. Melbourne and Fremantle just into the last quarter. In fact, Melbourne 95 and the Dockers 76. Earlier today, Geelong VFLW round 1. Taylor Hassett, one of the youngest coaches going around, aged 23, leading the Geelong VFLW team after leading Grovedale to last year's AFL Bowen Division 1 title with Paul Price. Paul Price had actually stepped away. Taylor was going to go solo. Taylor got the Geelong job. Price is back.
No surprise, Price is back.
14-4, 88. Box Hill Road defeated Geelong 4-6-30. Players making their way into position. Are we going to see the +1 behind the footy?
I hope not.
Because we don't play 6-6-6 here.
Yes, we are.
So, and that's right now is Zach Knights is the one that's just away from the group of 6, but I suspect Al Hickey will try and position himself as the spare, which will leave the spare for Leopold. I would think they'd want Mitch Burgess or Luke Justin as their spare. Just looking
the Luke Justin, he played that role really well that quarter. He was like a quarterback just coming off there.
And it is Luke Justin. So it's who can be the most damaging of the two. Yeah. Big second half to come as that haze continues to linger over Stribbling Reserve. Umpire Jones holds the ball aloft. Third quarter action thanks to Bowen Timber. Here's Jace.
So McCoy gets it down. First ruck for St Joey's, but Thompson gets it away for Leopold towards half forward. Humphrey for St Joey's over the top to Harry Smith. A good first half. Goes towards centre wing. It's okay. James Hickey takes the mark uncontested for St Joseph's. Goes with the right foot kick towards half forward. It's good, Edwards, and that's a good mark in front of Thompson. Takes the mark at left half forward, 50 from goal. He's got Henderson running past. He's in the short sleeves now. Edwards, long kick, top of the square, getting back there. Watts, falls past it. Lewis, push, set the umpire. Free kick, Leopold. It's going to come back, and I think Tyler Watts will take the free for the Polders. And in the last line defence for Leopold.
They are very striking pink boots that Tyler Watts has on. Probably go better with the Geelong West uniform and the green and gold as he goes short to everybody's favourite reptile, Jet Matthews. Left back pocket, short kick, didn't go 15, so Pepper's got to turn and kick quickly, and he's set Burgess a task. Spoiled by Lewis. Handball Antonak, back to Lewis, lost it in the tackle of Marcus Thompson. Matthews trying to make good on the mistake he made. Lewis went to go off the ground. Handball out of the pack, might have been Knights, and on the outside of the right boot, Jack Mullen has hit the post. We'll put it through from behind, in fact. And he now has, this afternoon, 3 goals, 1. And they have an 8-point lead, Joey's. Minute and a half played on the Barn Foods third quarter time clock. Joey's 46, Leopold 38.
Waiting for the footy to come back. I think it's gone into the basketball courts.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one at each end of the ground, isn't it?
It is.
Basketball courts, if no one's there, it's there forever. You've got the road out there.
So now Burgess plays on from fullback for Leopold, goes towards centre wing. Oh, at the back, Luke Webb takes the mark. And we'll push it back deep forward again for St Joey's. Luke Webb plays on, goes to the top of the square. Thompson's there, Edwards is there in front. Hamlin hanger, Joel Edwards. And has taken the mark for St Joey's. 20 out directly in front. And he's taken a couple of good ones in the first couple of minutes of this third term, Joel Edwards. And there's the Hamlin hanger for Hamlin Homes. Has a new custom home in Torquay open by appointment. And a chance to put his second goal of the afternoon on the board.
I'm not going to say this game's opened up yet, but it's just got some signs early where, we're getting a little bit more one-on-one contest. The ball's just going into the forward 50 a little bit more freely. So hopefully there's a little bit of a start for the game opening up.
So Joel Edwards comes in, a right foot kick goal. So his second of the afternoon, 8th for St Joey's, 8-4-52. A little bit of a momentum for them. Leopold 5-8-38. Bowen Timber, K-Rock, third quarter scoreboard.
The most important part is they've had the first 2 clearances, St Joseph's, the first 2 forward entries inside 50s, and they've had 2 intercept marks. So they're just getting their hands on the ball at the crucial stages of the game.
So out to 14 points, which is the equal game high margin. Just seem to put Leopold at arm's length for the moment. Don't be writing off the 2-time reigning premier. Plenty of footy to be played in this one. Watts and McCoy. McCoy winning the tap down. Got another go at it. McLaughlin will pick up the loose footy, ran straight into Wagner and Thompson, who were the greeting committee, and we will get a ball up. Just keeping an eye on Thompson, trying to get near the footy. James Hickey's with him for the moment for Wombat Gully Plant Farm. Watts winning the tap down. Williamson. Here's McLaughlin through traffic. Did well. Handball, though, was knocked away. Ash will look to go off the ground. Pushed off it by Gow. McLaughlin had it socked away by Williamson. Porter picked up the loose footy. Wagner's handball was a mishit. Did Thompson no favours. Went back and retrieved it Thompson and gave it to Wagner. His kick had a bit too much on it for Brislane, but not for Annandale. Controlled it nicely. Wants his left boot. A high snapping ball towards half forward. Sit under that. Nick Ash. Ball hits the ground. Chance for James Hickey. Handball released to his brother Alex. Alex sends a kick into the middle of the ground that Morrison looked to run onto. Jennings was there and Justin as well. Justin tried to take on Hose. Handball into space. Pepper off the ground.
Pepper goes towards half forward and follows up his own ball, but coming across Antonak in front for St Joey's. And he's held up by Andrew Pepper. And we will have a ball up 45 out from the Leopold goal.
So just for info, Knights has rolled off his opponent on half back and gone straight to Thompson again.
So McCoy goes up early. Watts gets it down. McLaughlin. He can't pick up. Watts can. The piano tuner gets the kick around the corner inside. Oh, Webb! Hamlin Hanger, one hand diving mark. Just like he's at second slip for Murgy. And here's taken the mark in the last line of defence. For St Joey's called to play on. Chips across the face of goal to Al Hickey. He wants somebody short.
Yeah, well, there's nothing down the line. They don't have a big down the line at the moment. It's Aussie Humphreys, and that's it.
Joel O'Dwyer didn't want to move for him, so he does kick it long, and it's going to be chopped off. Brislane didn't take the mark for Leopold. Then Burgess tried to get the handball away. Throw set umpire Nachos. Umpire Ganaccia right on the spot. Free kick's going to go to St Joey's. Henderson goes out wide with the kick. Set a task for Morrison. He was up to it. He took it.
Taking the long sleeves off, Felix.
He has.
Morrison, long inside forward 50, looking for a marking target. Edwards back with the flight, got a hand on it. Luke Justin, or handball just into space. Fortuitously, Pepper running onto the loose ball down low. And Marcus Thompson took it nicely, barely above the blades of grass below him. Drives it to half back to Williamson. Williamson wants the middle of the ground. Pitch just got to him before McCoy shut him down. And give a handball back to Williamson. Williamson cruising past, middle of the ground, low scything ball. Mark dropped there by Ritchie, tried to pull it back in at ground level. It's going to spill out for Ash. Ash jams it on the boot. Annandale in front first to move, has marked on the chest. It wasn't the prettiest of build-ups from the Polders, but it's ended on the chest of Max Annandale, who'll look to go back and kick his first of the afternoon.
Yeah, you said it before, King. You don't write Leopold off just yet, and they've had the last couple of stats that are those key important stats, those marks inside 50s, the clearances. They start to get their hands back on the ball. Just that seesaw affair at the moment, and Jesus, a great game to watch.
20 goals in 8 games last year. He kicked a goal in every game he played in his first GFNL senior season. He needs to kick this one, and he hasn't kicked through it. He's poked at it and pushed it to the left, and the margin is 13. 2 behinds for Max Annandale, and the third quarter K-Rock Barwon Timber scoreboard shows Leopold 5-9-39. St Joey's 8-4-52. Geelong owned and operated. That's Barwon Timber, building better since 1980.
Luke Webb for St Joey's plays on. Straight down the middle, looking for McLaughlin. Annandale against him. The 2 number 2s. Humphrey on the side for St Joey's. They get it out. McLaughlin. One to Will back on the right. His handball back towards Gow. Off a step towards half forward. Thompson against Edwards. In front, can't take the mark. Williamson front and centre was good. Handball through towards Clark. Too slow. Coming through Thompson. Wrapped up by Hose. Still got the handball away. Jennings with a clearing kick towards centre wing. Gow comes at it again. And second effort. And gets a push in the back over the shoulder, if you don't mind. Giving the Matheson now, and James Gow will take the free kick just inside the centre square.
Former Bell Park Dragon once upon a time. Geelong VFL gun, long ball, Oscar Morrison, got a push from Watts. Umpire didn't see it that way. Umpire says play on Burgess, tracks the loose footy for Leopold, wants to cut back onto his right boot. Just dinked a kick on the bounce to Wagner. Wagner a handball to Clark on the half volley, a handball to Williamson. Turned it over, stolen by Smith. McLaughlin loops it over the top. Bang! Cooper Ward dumped. Ball spilled out. Betson, handball to Kershaw. Kershaw's kick is nice. McLaughlin marks. He'll run to 45, drive it into the pocket, and Edwards marks. But just a little bit too fancy and lairising with the footy, Leopold, and they're being made to pay. Edwards with it in the right forward pocket. Kirsch is making notes furiously. I don't know what he's written, but what's his...
No, not to be repeated on air.
Here's Edwards, left foot, and has threaded it from in the right forward pocket. He's now got 3, and the margin is 19. It's a game-high lead for the nominal visitors.
The nominal visitors. Okay.
Third quarter, Barwon Timber scoreboard. Joey's 9-4, 58. Leopold 5-9, 39. 8 3/4 minutes played on the Barwon Foods time clock.
Ginny, I was just sort of writing down a little bit of control by St Joseph's there with ball in hand. We haven't seen much of it today, those uncontested marks, the 0 to 30 kicks, just controlling the game. Just a couple of outlets out the back, and then they get it in. They go the long way around, and they got it in nice and deep to Joel Edwards, who he's having a nice day. He's had a nice quarter, should I say. His day's been really good, but his quarter's been outstanding.
Back in the middle, Watts, McCoy, they got it down in the end. Williamson to run back for Leopold, gives it away to Mitchie. Gar runs through the middle, Burgess with the right foot kick long towards Annandale. Webb against him, big pack there. Who's going to mark it? Nobody. Falls in the arms of Luke Webb. Clearing kick back towards half back. Was it sit? Oh, McCoy tapped it on to Henderson. Or they're getting it through Mullen. Open forward 50, goes inside 50 for Morrison to run back onto it against Jennings. Kick off the ground, bit of soccer work. Oh, Jennings, good work. Defensively saw it over the line. And we'll have a boundary thrown in a left forward pocket for St Joey's.
If a team's going to break this game open, it's only Joey's.
Yeah, that's right. And look, they had the wrong setup there, St Joseph's. They had the deepest of the tall. They really should have switched that over, where Morrison should have been the outlet mark or the come-up mark, and then the small out the back.
Oh, stop the presses. Port Arlington's kicked a point.
Oh, that's it.
They're
finished.
13-1. They lead by 14, 10-5. Around the grounds for Leopold Sporties. Betson, a handball on the up, but Williamson took it, got away from McLaughlin. Little fumble from Justin, time to recover. Back to Williamson, and don't argue on Kershaw, and one on James Hickey. Kicked to half forward. Ritchie got nudged done it by Webb. Webb played it really well. Ritchie's running for a free kick that will never come, and then Webb sends it wide, and Kershaw marks underneath the scoreboard that shows his team leading by 19.
Big scoreboard here too, massive. Goes out wide with the kick. Kershaw looks for Cooper Ward, can't quite hit him at right half forward.
You've got to think there'd be movie nights on Dribbling Reserve during
you've got to
summer.
think, if you're here and you're watching and you're looking at the new scoreboard, look at the old one, about 30 metres away from it. Tell you what, that would have been fun.
I hadn't even noticed that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit of difference. Boundary throw-in, right half forward for St Joey's. McCoy gets it down to the front, big thump away. James Hickey kick around the corner, back inside 45. Mitchie goes first, Burgess handball, missed the target though. Betson rides 2 bumps, got the handball away. McLaughlin, can he get away from Justin? He can't, dropping the footy. Umpire right there. And saw the man with 2 first names put on a good tackle, and he will take the free kick in the last line of defence for Leopold.
Goal since the 4-minute mark of the second term. Leopold, they need to find one, or this game might slip away from them. Justin's been good. He sends a kick looking for Wagner. That's a tough ask for the diminutive one. It's spoiled away from him, and is taken by Ben Clark, who's then wrapped up. And we'll get a ball up. Talking about Ben Clark, brother Jesse, captaining Werribee this year. They've just suffered another loss. The Tigers, 3 points to Sydney in Sydney. Umpire Ganachia puts it into the air, tapped down by McCoy. Porter, maybe a nudge, and Holt being held on to Keelan Betson, who hasn't had the influence he did against Newtown, as he takes on the fellow tough nut and Tate Porter from Maryvale last year. Kick inside or towards forward 45. It's dropped by Knights, but cleaned up by James Hickey. Gave a little handball to McCoy, who gave it back quickly. Kicked to centre half forward. Not going to mark, but the spoil was Cooper Ward. Brought it to ground level. He's actually going to end up with a footy. Handball to Betson. Betson jams it on the boot. Open goal square. Bouncing ball. Morrison first back there. Tight against the line. Jennings bumps him over the line. That was smart play. And signal to rush behind. And it might be 50 as the point was given, and then it's been kicked into the basketball court. There's a bit going on. There's both Pepper and Antonak getting enamoured with each other. There's no 50, and Justin will kick the ball in, but the margin is 20 to the good of Joey's 9-5, playing 5-9.
So Luke Justin comes broadcast side and goes short with the kick. Benny Cass is here. Benny Cass is in the house. We're in trouble. And Joey's are going okay. Goes wide to Brislane, who takes the mark in front of the best seats in the house, thanks to Atco Cafe 24.
Oh, he's out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Yeah, well picked up, Kirsch, and well picked up by the boundary umpire.
Absolutely it was.
Yep, swung the right boot over the line to kick it. That's a good pick-up, Kirsch, and that boundary umpire.
He's one of my Year 8 maths students.
Well, tap him on the back and
I
give
will.
him a couple
That's
extra points during the week.
That's an A+ for his next task.
Well done. That's
Small
good.
child on the field as well.
Birchie down boundary
Good observation skills.
Small child.
Thank you, Birchie.
And it wasn't Louis Antonak.
Bell back into play. Watts and McCoy, as they have done for most of the afternoon. Watts front position, won the tap down. McLaughlin spun out of the pack after doing the roving for Joey's. Jammed it on the boot. Oh, Brislane coming up, left it behind. Or rather, McLean, I should say, left it behind, opens the door. Chance now for Mullen. Antonak's put it on the chest of Oscar Morrison.
Who let him in the box? Benny Cass.
And Oscar Morrison will go back from the top of the square. Just a moment from...
We're getting text messages from Neil. Casanelli is in the box. It's back to the old days.
Young McLean would like that moment back as Oscar Morrison becomes the first goal kicker other than Edwards, Mullen or Hunter to kick a major for St Joseph's. Those aforementioned all have 3. Morrison has 1 to go with the 4 he kicked back in the opening round clash with Newtown, and he's given his team a 26-point buffer. They have put some separation between themselves and the 2-time reigning premier, and they're looking at a 19th consecutive home and away win here, gentlemen, St Joseph's, as they move to 10-6-66, or 10-5-65, I should say, on the third quarter Carrick Bowen Timber scoreboard. Leopold a 5-9-39.
It's just an injury update. Tom Feely's got the crutches. You could probably see him from up there. He's got the ice on that left knee, so he's definitely done for the day.
Thank you for that, Birchie. It's John of God Injury Updates, caring for our community for more than 50 years.
Back to the middle. Jennings in the ruck against Morrison for St Joey's. Billy Clark's left foot kick went across the cricket pitch area, fell in the arms of Burgess. Mitch runs away and then runs into a bit of trouble, tries to bounce it, doesn't bounce for him, and then he loses the football, needs some support. Got a little bit, but coming back, Gow. Well, we put his own footy today, James. And he's taken the mark. Back end of centre wing, goes towards centre half forward. Oh, getting back. Great mark, Jack Mullen, Hamlin. That is a Hamlin hanger. And he was running back with a fly to the footy and just had to put his arms out, and it stuck. And he's taken the mark and will shoot for goal from 50 out directly in front.
Degree of difficulty raised by the fact that Andrew Pepper was coming the other way.
Yes, he was.
Well, 2 things. I can't see whether he's in 50 because I can't see the line.
Yes.
And
no moose work here, so that's a good Arthur. I think he's from 50.
The man on the mark's outside 45. Yep.
Right on.
Right on. There you go. So he's 50. He's kicked 3 this afternoon, Jack. This for goal number 4. He comes in and he has kicked that goal! Jack Mullen has kicked his 4th. And that's the ball game, I reckon, boys. To be honest with you, I think they're in a bit of trouble here now, Leopold. They kicked their 11th, 11-5-71 St Joey's, Leopold 5-9-39. Bowen Timber, K-Rock, third quarter scoreboard.
Well, the most important thing is, Joseph, they've had 8-2 inside forward 50s. They've just got the momentum. They've got ball in hand. They're getting in there quick. And they've had 6 marks inside forward 50 this quarter already. And they've only had... 6 till half time. So they've had 6 this quarter, 12 for the game. They're just getting their hands on the ball inside forward 50 as well.
They've kicked 6 consecutive goals now. Jennings has gone into the ruck. He's won the tap down. Keelan Betson couldn't take it. Henderson coming off his wing. Pulled down as he kicked, but he was able to put it into the path of Mullen. Mullen a handball back. Lewis. He just put it into space. Brislane overran it. Wagner was looking for a body to take. He's playing on edge this afternoon, is the piano tuner. And it's out of bounds for a boundary throw in at left half forward. 11-5-71 Joey's. 5-9-39 Leopold. Almost 17 minutes played on the Bowen Foods third quarter time clock.
So throw in Morrison in front. Look at Henderson. He gets wrapped up straight away. Umpire says holding the ball. So free kick. Going to come back to Harris Jennings. Back end of centre wing for Leopold. Need a couple of quick goals to get back in this game. The Polders called to play on. Wants to switch the play. Oh, dangerous kick. Oh, very dangerous. Back towards Pitcher. Edwards tried to tap it on. McLaughlin's there as well as a 3-on-2. McLaughlin's the third. Right foot kick. He's missed. He's missed everything. Out of bounds on the full into the basketball court. And Leopold will take the free kick last line of defence.
Not sure what the switch was there. It was never on at all.
A bit quicker would have been okay, but...
Oh, you had to go the first time he looked.
Yeah,
so he looked,
right.
then looked away, then looked.
Yeah, that's right.
He basically looked and said, I'm going to kick there, which gave the opposition enough time to
get there.
to get up.
Andrew Pepper with it next to the left-hand behind post. And he's just being sent back by umpire Ganache. The umpires have got the comms in today, being able to communicate with each other out on the ground. Pepper from a standing start sends it outside defensive 45. James Hickey flew but couldn't hang on to it. Oh, he's going to be paid, I reckon. Gee, didn't have it for long, but long enough according to the umpire as he came in from the side. The skipper with the footy, playing game 135 this afternoon. From about 70 metres out, just sets it up for the leading Oscar Gow, rather I should say, couldn't hang on to it. Front of the pack, Porter tried to get a handball away, couldn't, and we'll get a ball up about 30 out, make it 35 out from the St Joey's goal. One more will put this to bed. They'll be double their score if they would jag one here as we approach time on in the third.
Edwards up against Jennings. Edwards gets it down. Lewis got a hand to it. Left foot, dangerous on this position. Goes with a left foot. Oh, just missed to the far side and through for one behind. 3 goals, 1. His personal tally this afternoon. 11-6-72 Joey's. Leopold 5-9-39 Barwon Timber K-Rock third quarter scoreboard.
Well, from the kick in, there's real trouble here for Wagner as he's taken in a tackle, and we'll get a ball up in the left forward pocket in front of the community pavilion that is packed to the rafters this afternoon. A wonderful crowd has rolled in this afternoon to watch the best of the GFNL go at it. Tap down Jennings. Game probably hasn't lifted to expectations yet, but there's plenty to play. Pitcher, tackle, good by Betson. Ensures that the 42's going nowhere. Wagner and Betson getting to know each other again after Keelan's return to the competition after several years away. And we're right on 45 as the umpire puts it into the air for Edwards to do the ruck work. From behind, Jennings won the tap down. Kershaw and Lewis both in there for Joey's, and Lewis was a little bit indiscriminate, although it's holding the ball according to the umpire. Gee, the way Lewis came in, thought it might have been in the back, and Brislane has given away the free kick. And Hunter Lewis probably on his measure, if maybe a too far out to score here, Kirsch.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably just that 5 metres too far, I think. If he can swing around and get a little bit of purchase on it, he's a chance, but I just think he's 5 too far.
Made a solid start to the season, of course, played in the reserves in opening round. It was kick 3, coming off 57 last year. 2 lots of 2 against Leopold's, kick 3 today, and that will stay at 3 as he leaves it left. Well left, the left footer, and the margin is 34. So opportunities to bury this one, just bypassing Joey's for the moment as they move to 11-7-73, playing 5-9-39.
Justin kicks it in. I don't know who he's looking for there for a while. It was coming a long way from centre wing. It was Ash and Lennon Johnson.
That's a good point, because he kicked it to a one-on-one where Liam owned the outside.
Yeah.
It was an interesting kick in.
103.91 Melbourne lead the Dockers, 16-7 playing 13-13, 24 minutes almost played at the MCG in the final turn.
Watts got it down to the front of the pack. Williamson pushed Lewis past the football in front of the old scoreboard, which is beautiful and large. Not quite as big as the new one, which is showing St Joey's 11-7-73, Leopold 5-9-39. We played 21 minutes in this third term. Bowen Foods time clock. Sells the freshest fish direct to you, Donna Road, North Geelong. Boundary throw in. Morrison up against Watts. Falls to the front of the pack. Williamson can't take it. McLean's wrapped up as well. And we're going to have a ball up at right half forward.
It's been a long time between drinks for Leopold. The last goal at the 4-minute mark, which gave them a lead in the second quarter. Connor Giddings kicked his 4th, and it looked like he was going to tear this game apart. Can Williamson impose himself? Handball to Matthews. Matthews on the outer wing. Sends it towards forward 50. Kicked too much on it for Giddings, although Dwyer dropped the mark. Time to recover. Handball on the bounce. Well played out there by Nunadis. Gave it to his skipper, although his skipper was under pressure and he lost it. Porter turns and kicks on his left. It's a 2-on-1. Annandale or Giddings, neither can take the mark. Annandale is hurt as he hits the ground. Keep an eye on that Birchie, and now holding the ball paid, and Leopold will win themselves a free kick, and it'll go to Sam Scott. And Annandale still down. He came one way into the hip or similar region. He's just struggling to get some power through that right leg at the moment. And Sam Scott, the veteran, kicked 2 goals in the second semi last year. He needs a couple of goals before three-quarter time to give his team a sniff. Down in the mark, Al Hickey stands about 25 from goal. Left forward pocket. This is a non-negotiable. They need a goal. They haven't kicked one since early in the second. Sam Scott drives it through. He's happy with it too as he cuts the margin to 28, but they've got to get some emotion and some joie de vivre out there, Leopold, because they're a bit off the mark at the moment as they trail by 28. Third quarter, K-Rock, Barwon Timber scoreboard. Geelong owned and operated, building better since 1980. Leopold, 6.945. Joey's 11.773. And for the Sporting Globe in the experts chair, here's Kirsch.
It was only their third inside forward 50, would you believe, for the quarter. We spoke about how even the game's been, but St Joseph's just sort of blown the game away a little bit. But once that ball hit the ground in there, it was some really good pressure from Leopold. They turned the ball over, they forced the error, and they got the free kick out of it. Let's be honest, Sam Scott doesn't miss those. He's been doing it for a long time, and he was going through every minute of the way.
Birchie, Max Annandale down in front of you there.
Yeah, just a little bit sore in that right hip area. There's a bruise there. He lifted up his Guernsey, so yeah, someone's knee potentially, but yeah, he's a bit sore.
We'll keep an eye on that as Tate Porter kicks a goal for Leopold, if you don't mind. Turned around the corner and kicked a Metricon goal, dribbled it from the right forward pocket, and they worked the ball well out of middle from Logan Wagner, and they got it forward, and Tate Porter finished the work, so that is exactly what they needed. The Leopold side, he kicks his first of the afternoon. They go to 7.951 now, Leopold. St Joey's 11.773. Barwon Timber K-Rock, third quarter scoreboard.
What was the Wagner to Thompson to Wagner clearance and inside forward 50? That's 2 in a row. So 2 clearances in a row, 2 inside 50s in a row. So this game is far from done.
Yeah, well played by Leopold. They're the 2 goals they needed. They probably need one more before three-quarter time. Jennings and McCoy. McCoy winning the tap. Williamson being held on to by Betts and still won the footy. Got it to Wagner. Quick release. Here's Thompson again, and they're away. A bounce, a handball to Brislane. Brislane a fumble and then fell over at the wrong time. And Humphrey coming the other way read the situation well. Took the footy, dumped as he's kicked, dribbled 10 metres. Brislane went high. And he's hurt himself, Brislane. He's hurt a knee and going and laying that tackle on Smith. So they're losing troops left, right and centre. And Brislane then also obviously had the earlier moment where they've missed an opportunity. Knights kicks to left half forward, and Henderson has marked Brislane now a bit more free. He's actually going to stay out there. And he went down like he'd been shot sort of from the grassy knoll up here. Kick inside 50. Luke Justin the spoil. Back to his defensive goal line. It's a foot race now, and throwing the boot at it, but not in time, was Cooper Ward, and it was over for a minor score. That was risky from Luke Justin. As a rush behind makes the margin 23. 11.874, 7.951. Leopold was almost the old 12-point turnaround. They were going forward, seemingly in a position to have a shot on goal, Leopold, and almost turned one over at the other end.
So Justin plays on from full back. Goes to the outer side. Long kick. 3-on-1. St Joey's with the 3. Kershaw's pickup was good. Got it to Al Hickey. He kicked around the corner. Antonak takes the mark uncontested.
Connor Giddings is sore in back play too. Birchie, keep an eye on that.
Ball along the line. Kershaw inside 45 with the kick. Trent Thompson in front takes the mark. And intercepts it and goes short. Dangerous kick under pressure again. Lewis to make him pay. Kick was smothered. Great play by Clark in the middle, who dropped it to start with. Burgess to pick it up at half back. Handball over the top. Needs a target. Porter it was. Can he pick it up? He got a shove, said umpire Ganaccia.
Not sure about that, Nachos.
Free kick play on advantage. Now Wagner in the middle. Good kick. Ritchie can't take the mark though. Off the back of the pack. Handball. Antonak to James Hickey on the cricket pitch area. He left it for James Gow. He'll tell everybody he did that anyway. And he goes with a great kick to Morrison in front of Thompson. Great play, James Gow. Give him the medal already. And he will shoot for goal, Oscar. Around the corner in the left forward pocket for St Joey's.
Upset alert taking place at Queenscliff. Queenscliff 53, Lee Drysdale 45. Go the Cougars.
So Oscar Morrison has kicked 1-1 this afternoon. 23 points up. Strange to say this, but they need it, St Joey's.
Well, they do, because the momentum shifted a little bit in that last 4 to 5 minutes with Leopold. They were starting to win the ball at the source. They were getting it to the outside. They had some really good run and carry.
Left forward pocket, northern end of the ground. Oscar Morrison comes in, a right foot kick drive.
Bang, that's a great kick.
Great kick. His second of the afternoon. The 12th for St Joey's, 12-8-80. They lead Leopold 7-9-51. Bowen Timber, K-Rock, third quarter scoreboard. Geelong owned and operated building better since 1980.
7th mark inside forward 50. We talked about it, pre-game, and we have spoken about it a little bit throughout the game with that really good balance they've got down there. Edwards and Morrison have been really good in the air, and those mids have gone to work. It's just a really good combination down there at the moment, and it seems to be flourishing now. They're starting to get a little bit of feel. The game's opened up a tad, as we spoke about, so we might see a nice last quarter with a lot of goals.
Back in the middle, Jennings winning the tap down. Watts, I should say, winning the tap. There's going to be a free kick. There's a bit going on off the footy, and the non-controlling umpire's seen something. And what has he seen? He's seen a free kick going to James Hickey, and I think it's against Logan Wagner. James Hickey plays on. Wagner not really standing the mark strongly. Kick inside 50. He's put it straight onto the chest of Trent Thompson. And Leopold will look to repel. Under pressure from Lewis, a high ball. Thompson, Sam Scott to impact the contest. Zach Knights, Flew couldn't mark. Ash at the base of the pack, a fumble. Time to recover. Porter, too slow, got to push in the back. Buffeting his way through his web. Porter recovered. Ash, Burgess, right half back, touches it to the ground in these slippery conditions. He gives a handball over the top to Porter. Porter inside 50. Annandale back on the ground. Used the body nicely against O'Dwyer. Couldn't complete the mark. Found it at ground level. Tried to knock it back towards Clark. He was tunnel balled. Picked up there by Ben Clark. Handball on the up to Knight. So good the young Joey's defence. Kick to the wing, and Lewis calls out Henderson, says, I'll take it on the chest. A true centre wing.
He best seats in the house thanks to Abco Cafe 24/7. Hunter Lewis has got the ball. Kick 3 this afternoon. Drives along the line. Looking for Betson, who comes out. Can't take the mark. Punched away by McLean. And we'll have a boundary throw in front of the coaches' boxes, and where Jane Birch is also standing this afternoon. And we're going to have a throw in for Eddie McCoy and also Tyler Watts. Boundary throw in. McCoy in front. Watts worked his way to the front. McCoy got a hand to it. Through the middle, Thompson got held onto. The umpire said play on. Clark, he left it for Scott, who got away from Webb. The piano tuner to Clark, 45 out. Thought about the goal, thought about the chip to Richie. Probably should have gone because Kershaw read it the better. Much better player than his father, and he's taken the mark inside defensive 45.
Kershaw, short to Webb. Still inside defensive 50. They had to kick a goal there, Leopold.
They did. It wasn't the right option. He should never have squared it. The winger's always going to be sliding back in.
He had every right to have a shot.
He did.
To be honest.
100% he did on this ground.
Humphrey into the right back pocket to O'Dwyer, who goes just outside defensive 45, and Alex Hickey's happy to take the heat out of the game as we approach three-quarter time. 29 3/4 played on the Bowen Foods time clock. Concedes back to Humphrey, who goes all the way back to the top of his defensive goal square to Webb, and then Webb will come to the left back pocket, and it's marked by Knights. Knights can go short to Birch, and they're just toying with them for the moment. Birch just dinks one over the top for Gow to run on to. Ash trying to go with him, but can't for one back gully plan farm. Henderson provides an option for a handball, but why would you give it to a bloke running on his right-hand side that's a left footer? Gow now pumps it to the pocket. Not a great kick. Morrison, it bounces away from him. And out of bounds. They were patient, but that last kick inside 50 let them down.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some experienced players in that chain as well, because they knew they had to slow it down. Hickey, O'Dwyer, they controlled that back play, just moved it from one side of the ground to the other, and they got themselves an inside forward 50.
Light drizzle falling here at Stribbling Reserve.
Boundary throw in left half forward for St Joey's. Morrison to the front of the pack. Lennon Johnson. Handball was okay. Williamson. James Gow came in and said, bye-bye.
Yep.
Holding the ball.
Not today, he said.
No. And Brock Williamson couldn't get away. And James Gow's going to take the free kick at left half forward.
He's had one hell of a game, Jace. He's been superb.
Leopold Sporties, Steamatic standout and everything else. Maybe 3 Matheson votes for Jace.
He comes through now, Gow, 45 out. Finish it off with
not has he?
With a goal, James.
Jace Doherty! Look what he's done!
James Gow.
Have a look what he's done!
Puts the Metricon goal of the day on the board. And James Gow has kicked his first, and Kirsch has done a pooper, I think. That's it, he's done. He's finished for the day.
No Jim Bob Botzaris, but that was a fantastic goal.
Goal to James Gow. Finished off the good work from 45. Got the hold in the ball decision and finished it off. 13-8-86. St Joey's. They lead Leopold 7-9-51, and that is on the Bowen Timber K-Rock third quarter scoreboard.
Can't even give him inside 50. He kicked it from outside. It didn't even go in 50.
Port Arlington have really taken control. They lead by 32 points now. Taya Miles has kicked 5. Yeah. Menadu's got 3. Turnbull's got 3. So they will improve to 2-1, you would suspect. Tapped down by Watts, roving Wagner. That's a throw to Porter. Porter drives it inside 50. Annandale overshot the mark. It's out the back. Webb will track it towards the behind post. Right back pocket siren sounds, and Leopold needed something there. They got it back to 22 points, but late goals to Morrison and Gow has St Joseph's in control as they look for their 19th consecutive home and away win. 13-8-86 the Joeys, 7-9-51 Leopold as we go to three-quarter time here at Stribling Reserve. Rain is falling a little bit heavier than what it was, but there's still a good crowd here on a Saturday afternoon in this special Easter Saturday meeting. 86-51. Third quarter was thanks to Bowen Timber, and we're here at Rapco Cafe 24/7. Grab a fast twitch energy drink. Back on the other side of this, Live Breathe, Carroll Footy.
Can't fake a feeling, curtains fall final over. Rain pouring over me, not long till the flip subsides. Waste no more energy, can't change it. Outcome when it's changed, you feel it over here.
Paints and products, or gives you tips and advice on how to use them, then your local Inspirations Paint store. That's what makes them the Dulux approved specialist. What's your next project?
Inspirations Paint, Grovedale, 138 Torquay Road.
Metricon gives you freedom to get more of what you really want in a brand new home. More space, more light, and all at a price you can afford. Like the family favourite 4-bedroom Amira 20 with Kingston facade from $223,900. Yes, under 224 grand. But hurry, first 40 buyers only. Search Metricon Homes today. Conditions apply. Exclude site costs. Geelong Build Region. CDBU 52967.
Harvey Norman, the home of king-size TVs. Bigger is better. Immerse yourself in the incredible viewing experience of a king-size TV. All the leading brands: Samsung, LG, Sony, Hisense and TCL. Whether it's game day, movie night or a binge weekend, enjoy spectacular clarity and detail with resolutions from 4K to 8K and screen sizes up to a massive 100-inch. Connect more, see more and do more with a king-size TV featuring the very latest in smart technology. See the specialists in king-size TVs at Harvey Norman now. Your locally owned and operated Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Ponds.
Since a bloke named Bill started cutting timber in a mill back in 1980, Bowen Timber's been the builder's best mate ever since. Whether you're stick framing or need prefab frames and trusses, Bowen Timber's got what you need for every building stage. Geelong owned and operated with trade quality products in stock, ready to go. Bowen Timber, Fellmongers Road, Breakwater. The team that builders just keep coming back for.
I'm going down to Bowen Timber.
Thanks to our #1 ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
Three-quarter time at Stribling Reserve, and Joey's 13-8-86 lead at Leopold, 7-9-51, 35-point lead for the nominal visitors. Leopold, the nominal home team here in Lorne. Next year it'll flip around, Easter Saturday next year, which I think is the last day of daylight saving. So hopefully we're doing that in bright sunshine. Just a little bit murky here. We've had some drizzle. Just looking over at the basketball court in the primary school, you can see that's a little bit slick over there, and it has affected ball handling at stages today, but Joey's making the most of the situation. Let's go around the grounds for Leopold Sporties, where Melbourne 16-11, 107 have defeated the Fremantle Dockers 14-13, 97. You reckon that doesn't take a little bit of the heat off Simon Goodwin?
Absolutely it does.
Just looking at the goal kickers this afternoon in that clash, Cozzy Pickett kicked 5, Harrison Petty kicked 4, 3 apiece for Bolton and Amos for Fremantle. The next game this afternoon is about to get underway, and that game is the clash between, I know tonight is Richmond and Gold Coast, but the clash today, well, this afternoon in round 6, so we're about a quarter of the way through the season. Just waiting for that to load. Is actually Adelaide and the GWS Giants is that clash. And Ballerine scores 3 games going on. Anglesey in control over Ocean Grove, 92-44. Queenscliff and Drysdale are playing an absolute humdinger at Queenscliff Reserve, 54-53 the visitors lead. And Port Arlington 105 have kicked 17-3 to lead Newcombe 11-7, 73 the margin, 32 points. Chase.
The South Bowen coach is enjoying a nice little Blackmans at home, which is good of him.
Well played.
Well played. Well played. Kirsch.
So is Benny Castanilli here somewhere. He's had a handful before.
Yeah, he's very much enjoying a Pivot City lager.
What?
Kirsch, is this game over?
No. No, how many times have we seen Leopold come back? That game at Colac from memory last year was a long day, but I remember it. They come back. Leopold, they were never out of it. Well, they were out of it at one stage, but they come back. We know what they can do. They're a great side. They're a fantastic football team, and they got back into this game a little bit with ball in hand because of Wagner and Thompson. That got them going again in that midfield. So just not enough, I guess, passengers to go along with them on the ride, and they had to try and lift it themselves. The key indicators, though, Kingy, for that quarter in particular, was 16 inside 50s to 7. Now that is just pure domination by St Joseph's. They got their ball on the inside, they got it on the outside, and they controlled all facets of the game, particularly with their ball movement. Clearance wise, 9-7, still pretty tight in that area, but the marks inside forward 50, 8-1. That was the difference. I suppose if you had enough ball going inside forward 50, Joel Edwards really set the tone early in that quarter, and then Oscar Morrison and Mullen and those boys just sort of joined in as well. But look, St Joseph's deserve their lead now. They put the pressure on that third quarter and they took the game away from Leopold. No, I don't think it's completely over. If Leopold can kick the first one or two, I think it's game on, but St Joseph's is just playing well enough at the moment and got enough control of the game.
Thank you for that, Kirsch, and the experts chair for the Sporting Globe. The Sporting Globe Geelong Eat Drink Sport, 50 big screens. They'll be busy in there over the next couple of days, especially Easter Monday as the Cats take on the Hawks. K-Rock football from 2 o'clock from the MCG, K-Rock 955, KRockFootball.live, FM88 at the MCG and the AFL app as well. Joey's already back in position. Luke Kelly's held a little bit longer the Leopold boys in his first three-quarter time address, and Birchie's just trying to get to Luke to get a couple of words off him at the break. Just going down to you, Birchie, to get a couple of words from Luke Kelly. Down to you.
Yeah, Luke, the boys lost their way a little bit in that quarter after half-time, and perhaps a couple of, decision-making errors switching the ball, one in defence and one in attack. Did you feel that sort of crept into the game a little bit?
Yeah, full credit to Joey's. They really brought the pressure, and we probably didn't have the composure with ball in hand and around the contest. Once we started to set ourselves to the contest a little bit, we were able to hit the scoreboard and get this game going again, but that's it. We've just got to keep fighting this one minute by minute and try and at least, carry some momentum and see what happens.
And I know you spoke to them there about a journey. Do you feel like they're sort of lacking a little bit of intensity? Potentially, it's their first game for the season. Joes have already had one. That can be a little bit of a factor.
Yeah, no, and we've trained all pre-season together, so we're still working out what we look like and our identity and where our weapons lie. And right now, as you're right, we're on our journey towards the end of the year, and right now, you've just got to make sure the contest is right, and that's the first thing we've got to get right from here on in.
Thanks so much. Good luck for the final term.
Thank you. Birchie, great job down there for Leopold Sporties. With Luke Kelly, we will speak with him and Ron Watt after the game, along with our Leopold Sporties player of the day. Birchie will be kept busy in the fifth quarter for home-style aged care. But we've still got one quarter to get through here. The crowd has made their way of this wonderful amphitheatre at Stribling Reserve in this final term. He's about to get underway. Thanks to Zambrero. Feel good, Max. Here's Jace.
So Eddie McCoy up against Tyler Watts in the middle. McCoy gets a couple of taps to it. Thompson on the cricket pitch area picks it up. Marcus kicks it up the chimney. A high kick. Mark that. Oh, Wagner nearly did. The piano tuner. Gow in there again. He tried to get rid of it as umpire Ganacia, who is putting on a clinic from what we're here today. And
some high praise coming from one of his colleagues.
And he's going to ball it up right half forward for the Lions.
Tap down McCoy. Keelan Betson over around the footy. Zach Knights has been good this afternoon. Lunnon Johnson for Leopold tried to knock it forward. Betson picked it up, but was brought down by a fellow short-cropped hair in Tate Porter. And we'll get it balled up. Once again, point of the square at right half forward. Leopold in attack, tapped down by McCoy. Crowd getting rowdy. Lunnon Johnson pulled off the kick. Handball Ward, stolen there by Porter in the 23. High ball, top of the square. Giddings went with the one hand. Insto Dwyer, ball at ground level. Sam Scott tried to barge his way through. Lost it in the tackle, and the clearing kick comes out of the pack for Joey's towards half back. Burgess went with the one hand, knocked it into the path of Marcus Thompson, who went little Harlem Globetrotter with a handball over the head. Burgess gave it to Wagner. Wagner, high ball inside 50. James Hickey, handball it to nobody in particular. Head over the ball was Pitcher. Chance here though to repel. Webber driving kick to half forward.
He goes now towards Hunter Lewis, who used the body beautifully. Oh, he tried to kick it over the top because it was a free man, but Trent Thompson came in and did beautifully defensively. Oscar Morrison was running back, and Hunter Lewis says sorry, and it will be a boundary thrown in front of the best seats in the house thanks to Atco Cafe 24/7. You might be turning yourself on.
Sorry, if he actually gone on his right foot, he would have got that to him.
Yes.
He tried to come back a little bit and board on his left.
Because he doesn't have the right foot's only for balance.
For driving the car. Back to the middle, back from the ball up, through the middle, Zach Knights. And going the other way is Jet Matthews. Gets it to Harris Jennings, goes towards, Webb.
That is back in the wet.
Hamlin hanger from Webby across centre half back, goes wide and finds Felix Henderson.
He does, who had the long sleeves but ditched them for the short sleeves at half time.
Poor choice.
Short to Gow. Gow with it, and the crowd really up and about as Gow sends the ball driving into the right forward pocket. Too much on it for Mullen. Back with the flight, waiting for a free kick, I think, as he looks around to the umpire. Nothing's coming as it comes off hands and out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Right forward pocket. You would think one more, if this game is not already done, we'll see this off.
Yeah.
2 minutes 40 played.
The crowd's up and about because we're right next to where they're selling some convivials.
Oh, okay, that would be the reason why.
That helps.
Ball back into play. Watts and Morrison. Morrison winning the tap down for Joey's into the waiting arms of Zach Knights, who has done a very impressive task on Marcus Thompson this afternoon. It was a really smart coaching move, and Zach Knights, not at the centre bounces, but he's gone and found him once the ball moves on.
Ball up inside St Joey's forward 50. Burgess. Kick was smothered by Gow. Oh, he's pushed off the footy.
Jeez.
Free kick. Umpire said no. Ball bobbers around. Nobody can pick it up in these slippery conditions. Pack develops. The umpire will come in and ball it up 45 from goal. Kirsch is looking bemused. What about our cameraman? What about the photographer? He's too wet. He's a bit soft. Gee whiz.
Smart, not soft.
I hope nobody takes a Hamlin hanger. Porter, a high kick to the wing. McCoy sits under it. Got a nudge from Sam Scott, and that will be a free kick. Going to
McCoy.
Oh, it
has to be
McCoy.
the real McCoy.
Yeah, Connor Giddings is arguing for the footy, but McCoy was worked out of it not too subtly. He'll go short to 9. Plays. He's done well to hold Pitcher up. Ball spilled out. They got a chance here, although Hose left it behind. He might have taken Lunnon Johnson high. Umpire sees it differently to I. And now Knights with the footy for Joey's. Pulls the kick looking for Mullen, and there'll be a free kick. Harris
this
Jennings was held on
has
too.
left
that's
3 or 4 go.
That's disappointing. That is a clear free kick. And overlooked that one, and it'll be a ball up.
Jeez, they're talking to each other too. Surely someone said to him after the first 2 misses.
Yep. Morrison the tap, Williamson the roving for Joey, straight into a 2-man tackle and held up in a ball up. So tough dance for Leopold. Just the 2 goals since half time. 7-9-51. Trail Joey's 13-8-86. Ball up about 25 out from the Joey's goal as we've played nearly 5 minutes on the final quarter. Barwon Foods time clock.
Watts gets it down. Rove though by Mullen, close to the boundary line, kicks it back. Oh, Trent Thompson, a bit of goalkeeping. Just sees it through for a rush behind to St Joey's. 13-9-87. They lead Leopold 7-9-51. Sombrero, K-Rock. Final quarter scoreboard. Play on from full back. There's a long kick from Marcus Thompson out wide towards centre wing for Jennings to pick up for Leopold. Handball is okay to Scott. His handball on the outboard to Ash. Slippery footy. Webb comes in, gives him a high tackle. Umpire Ganache right on it. And a free kick on centre wing for Nick Ash.
Well, Nacho's not going to miss it for easy.
No.
If it's there, it's there.
Ash, a long ball to a one-on-one. Annandale got outpointed, although the mark was dropped in the end defensively by O'Dwyer, but he had time to recover. and went short, or rather Clark, and went short with the kick to Antonak, who hasn't had a massive influence on this contest. Kick back inside defensive 50 to Webb, and the kids have found the cardboard and now starting the slides down the hill, which is tradition here at Stribling Reserve. James Hickey, Al Hickey took the mark, I should say, but wasn't 15, so he had to quickly get a handball to Webb. Webb to half back. London Johnson got shoved off the footy by Cooper Ward, and that rain has now settled in for the mate. It's not heavy, just annoying and causing a little bit of slipperiness on the Sherrin.
Well, I'll tell you what, slippery for those nice little pieces of cardboard too. Now too, as they go down the hill, ball back in towards forward 50 for Leopold. At the back, Al Hickey, clearing kick was Lux of Fortune to Zach Knights. A defensive 45 goes out wide with the kick to Morrison. Good lead, takes in front of Trent Thompson. Kershaw is running long for a goal. Look at him running towards the forward 50. He might get it here too. He's over the back if they can turn it quickly. James Hickey, there's Kirsch. He goes towards him now. He has to take the mark. Get out of the bloody way, Edwards. And Joel Edwards has taken the mark. He's ripped it off Liam. Theatre.
Let's be honest, Liam was nowhere near it.
And
agreed, Matthew?
He was nowhere near it. It'd be a little bit quicker than I think he might have made his run a bit too early for that.
He sort of went out of the one box a bit too quick there.
He did, yeah.
So Joel Edwards, who has kicked 3 this afternoon, is to join Jack Mullen on 4. And, well, if the nail wasn't already in the coffin, it's now shut. If he puts this through, he's 35 out, slide angle, southern end of the ground, brings it back beautifully. And Joel Edwards has 4 this afternoon.
Oh, just got ran over by a car, that ball.
Oh, jeez, I thought you were going to say the goal umpire said it was a behind.
No, it just got ran over.
Well, that's
Nearly
not coming back.
Crash. Look.
That's great, super. That's all we needed. Down the road. That ball is at the beach now, I suspect. With that, it's been
Sherrins aren't cheap.
No.
$50 or something these days.
People need to get to the bar to help Leopold out here.
Yeah.
Port Arlington in control. They lead by 31. They've kicked 18-3. 18-3 to 12-8.
That's a display.
No rain down there today.
It's not often the Demons top the ton either.
Well, King will be able to go home and on his way home. Look after him.
14,993.
Didn't you know?
Leopold 7,951. Don't you start. McCoy winning the tap down in the middle. Betson overran the footy. Here's Williamson wrapped up by Ward. Got a handball away. It's close quarters. Burgess looks like he's gone into the middle for the moment. He's dragged down by Betson, and this game is done. And Joey's have made a bit of a statement on this one. They might win this one by more than they beat Newtown, based on how it's playing out. Tap down Watts for Leopold. Ball hits the deck and is not coming out of the centre square, and we'll get another stoppage. 8.5 minutes played on the Barn Foods time clock. In the final quarter, Zambrero scoreboard. It's Feel Good Max, 14,993, place 7,951.
Watts gets it down in the middle for Leopold. Antonak. Oh, he's ripped off the footy without it. Oh, wow. Ball on the outside to Hose. He's kicked inside forward 54. St Joey's. Big pack there off the front. Lewis won't be able to keep it in, and it will be a boundary 45 around from St Joey's goal.
Queenscliff and Drysdale, 54 apiece.
Oh. That one, the Curtis. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Is it at the bowl or
it's at the bowl? It's at the bowl.
It's big Saturday
day down there. Boundary throw in 45 around from St Joey's goal. Watts gets it down to the front. Williamson to Porter for Leopold. Handball by Clark, set a teammate up. Lucky that he got pinned before he got the footy. And Mitchie, he's going to have some hair in the eyes with this rain. He goes from half back into the middle. Pitcher got a hand to it. Can he get around Morrison? He can. His handball was horrific. Set Clark a task. He can't pick it up. Oh, Natus just pushed him off the football and said, get out of my way. But he leaves the footy behind. McLean now for Leopold. Over the head of Clark. Coming the other way, St Joey's. Oh, Kershaw. Handball on the outboard is okay. A lot of time and space. Morrison goes towards Lewis in the pocket. Great lead, great kick. Pepper can't do anything there, and Lewis has taken the mark. Wrong side for a left footer, but he's kicked 3 this afternoon.
This is not beyond Hunter Lewis to
kick. I was
kick.
going to say, he'll pop this through. This is in the left forward pocket, southern end of the ground for Hunter Lewis. Threw some grass up. Hunter, there has been no breeze for the whole day. He's going to come in now. Is he going to go the check, or what's he going to do? He's going to come in. No, just a drop punt and kick. Oh, he's hit the top of the goalpost.
Just good effort for a drop punt.
Good effort for a drop punt. 3 goals, 3 his personnel tally. 14-10-94, St Joey's, Leopold 7-9-51. Zombrero, K-Rock, final quarter scoreboard.
Isn't it funny at AFL level, you'll never see a drop punt from there?
Burgess.
Like, you would not see it.
Yeah.
Inside defensive 50 and the kick to half back onto the chest of Harry Smith. All the Smiths here today. Just forward of the wing. Pulls it into the right forward pocket. Edwards, great use of the body. Trent Thompson rarely gets out body to marking contest. Edwards was just able to shift him off the line and take the mark on the chest. He can go back and have a go at his 5th of the afternoon and put himself in Leopold Sporty's contention.
Absolutely, he will. He's playing on.
He's going to swing out onto the left, run to about 40 and have his kick smothered well by Lunnon Johnson. That's good from the youngster on debut. Nice little moment for him as he gets half a dozen teammates around him for a pat on the back and a tussle of the hair.
Oh, Joel Edwards thought he was at training and just coming off the boundary line for a little stroll.
I don't think he saw young Lunnon Johnson.
I don't think he did either.
Cooter's a goal up at the Cooter Bowl. Boundary throw in. Watts up against Edwards. Watts gets it down to the front of the pack. Mullen needs some help. Clark was there. Wagner gets it away with a quick kick back towards McCoy's handball on the outboard to Kershaw. Oh, feign the handball beautifully. Right foot kick long. That's a great kick. Edwards in the van here. He's got a couple against him. Big thump away. Through for a rush behind to St Joey's. And they go to 14-11-95. They lead Leopold. 7-9-51. Zombrero, K-Rock, third quarter scoreboard.
Rains.
That rain is really, it's coming down now. A lot of people are moving. They've reached their threshold.
Yep, straight to the
getting
pub.
wet, but
a lot going undercover.
Yep.
As the kick in is a turnover from Leopold, and Luke Webb will, with the man on the mark, standing about 45.5 from goal. Luke Webb will look to kick his first of the afternoon. He got every piece of that, the drop punt, but he's just pulled it to the left and through for a minor score, and the margin is 45. And this has some hurt being put on now. 14-12-96. Plays 7-9-51. It was a real contest at half time when the margin was 7. But 7 goals to 2 since, and it has been really all St Joseph's after the main break.
Burgess kicked it into the middle of the ground for Leopold. Harry Smith at the back to Webb for St Joey's. They get it out wide again. And mark taken by Henderson. Now Henderson. Oh, feigned. Beautiful. Bit of candy. Goes with a kick towards half forward. Big pack there over the back. With free kick pushing the back, I think, going to go to Leopold. It is. The piano tuner will get the free kick. Well, in fact, it's going to be Burgess.
Queenscliff 61, lead Drysdale 55 at the Cooter Bowl.
And ball back in the middle. Lunnon Johnson doesn't take the mark. Ash got one high. The umpire said play on. Clark's in the middle as well. He got the handball out for Leopold. Now to Justin, who measures the ball towards half forward. Oh, Webb at the back.
Yeah, but why wouldn't he use the one in front of him?
That's right.
He had someone easy there.
Kicked around the corner to Harry Smith. He can't take it. Tackle. Clark missed it. Now the forward of the footy. Ash going to be surrounded by St Joey's players. He got the handball out. Only as far as Cooper Ward, though. Gets a clearing kick. High kick towards half forward. Edwards against Pitcher. Edwards can't take it. Pitcher needs to get the handball out. Tried to. Justin used the body. Got it towards Burgess. Going to be surrounded. Gets away. Handball was okay. McLean under pressure at defensive 45. Now he goes towards Brislane, who goes short. And the piano tuner takes it at half back.
He does it right half back at the point of the square. He'll go short onto the chest of Ritchie. Ritchie can come back into the middle of Matthews, but ignores that option. So he'll go wider, and Wagner, who continues to work hard, hasn't been his afternoon though. He takes the mark in the shadows of the scoreboard that shows St Joey's leading by 45. Kick inside 50. Williamson and Watts fly. Neither could Marco. Dwyer at the base of the pack for Joey. He's on hands and knees. Lunnon Johnson tried to get a handball up. He found a teammate, Williamson, who is brought to ground and will get a ball up. Just inside 45 for the Polders, who 7-9-51 trail Joey's 14-12-96. And we'll get a ball up.
So Watts gets it down. Williamson roved well for Leopold. Quick kick out of the pack. Up the chimney. McLaughlin at the front. Tried to get the handball away under pressure. Ward gets through some traffic for St Joey's. Left foot kick out wide. Looks for Knights getting there. Burgess as well. Foot race close to the boundary line. Burgess sees it over. In front of the scoreboard, which is lining up Stribling Reserve as we have a rainy finish to the afternoon this afternoon. St Joey's 14-12-96. They lead Leopold 7-9-51. We've played 15 and a half in the final term on the Barwon Foods time clock.
Better say the crowd has thinned out slightly. McCoy and Watts. Watts won the tap down, flying through but leaving it behind was Clark. Handball on the up. Antonak got involved. Gow. Short kick, James Hickey, but put it straight under the chest of Jet Matthews. In the leadership group this year, Jet Matthews, he's been a great story since coming from Hoppers Crossing. Short onto the chest of Porter. He's got it. 15, almost 16 minutes played. His kick to the middle is okay. McLean, middle of Stribling Reserve. A long driving ball, not a great kick, and judging it best off the boot. And taking the mark is O'Dwyer. He'll send it wide to Mullen. They'll ask a lot of him because Jennings is there, but then Mullen, actually it's an arm chop against Jack Mullen, who hacked it out of midair after the ball hit the ground. It'll come back to Harris Jennings, who has to go back behind the mark. He's sent back by umpire Jones, and that will mean Joey's will be able to roll numbers back behind the footy.
So Harris Jennings, centre wing, goes inside 50 with the kick. Push. No, umpire said one.
He said to call it from here because that same umpire's missed it again.
So free kick for a push, going to go to Keelan Betson. Last line of defence, gets it lateral to James Gow, who takes the mark. He chips the ball over the top. James Hickey couldn't take the mark. Annandale comes at him for Leopold and sees it over the boundary line. In fact, it's on the full. And it's going to be a free kick to Leopold. Annandale came off the boot of Henderson. He goes inside 50 with the kick, and Clark takes the mark over the top of Betson. Will shoot for goal from 20 out directly in front.
Well, a little bit of reward for repeat entries there. They toiled hard for that last minute and a half and had a couple of looks at it and get a chance here now to hit the scoreboard.
So Billy Clark hasn't troubled the scorers yet this afternoon. Comes in, northern end of the ground, and kicks the goal. So his first of the afternoon, the 8th for Leopold. 8-9-57, their first of this second half here at Stribling Reserve. They trail St Joey's 14-12-96, so that is on the Sombrero K-Rock final quarter scoreboard. Sombrero feel good max.
I think that's almost their first mark by a mid-sized forward. For memory, inside forward 50, they really sort of miss that Mitch Patton-style player down there that can bob up and kick some goals for them when needed and take some marks inside forward 50. But look, like I said, they toiled hard and they got the reward there, and they got a few entries in there.
18 minutes played on the Barwon Foods time clock. We're not far from an end to this one. Just waiting for the ball to come back from over in the basketball court, which is part of the school complex here. It's all weaved into one. Is the setup here. The kids actually use this ground as their for lunch and recess play, and also for their PE classes. As we get the ball back to the middle now. Leopold trailing by 39 points. Joey's set to improve to 2-0 ahead of a clash on Anzac Day. A mouth-watering matchup with last year's grand finalists, South Barwon. Betson doing the ruck work. Porter the roving for Leopold, though. Went off the ground. Harris Jennings. Pick up on the second attempt by Zach Knights, who's been good this afternoon. Jammed it on the boot. Rolled it towards left half forward. McLaughlin a handball back. Antonak jamming it on the boot. High and long inside 50. Oscar Morrison from behind on Trent Thompson. Couldn't mark. Tried to find it at ground level, but Thompson was clean. Grabbed the footy with the outside of the right boot. It hangs in the air. Marcus Thompson couldn't mark. Socketed it to his own advantage and then fired a handball on the up towards Clark, the goal kicker. He tried to knock it on, but couldn't do it so successfully. Humphrey was good, and he kicks wide and finds Henderson.
Henderson now, he thought about going outside. Now he goes, he does go outside to Lewis. He worked his way to there. Now Lewis close to the boundary line. 30 out. Can he keep it in? Yes, he can. He needs to kick the goal now because he's done all the hard work. And Hunter Lewis has missed.
I don't know.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, missed to the right-hand side.
Okay, missed to the right-hand side. 3 goals for Hunter Lewis this afternoon. They go to 14-13-97. They lead Leopold 8-9-57.
They just go up the middle with long kick from Marcus Thompson. Webb's claiming the mark, and he's done enough too to claim it. That was off about 3 sets of hands, including Billy Scott and Clark and Sam Scott. There's the chopper. I hope that's not anything serious. I'm just having a look at what chopper that is. It's in the sky, Jason. I reckon that might be Is that an ambulance chopper? That's not ideal if that's the
I
case.
think that's Kirsch's, actually.
That's not ours.
Not yours?
Surf rescue one or something.
Yeah, not
Hopefully
sure.
it's nothing
Not
serious. Short kick, Henderson. Oscar Morrison on the lead went through his hands. Out the back, Gow's been good this afternoon. Freed the arms to get a handball away. Antonak next to the boundary line. 55 from goal. Right half forward. Sends a kick. Top of the square. Defensive spoil. Briz Lane and Pitcher just handballs it through from behind. Takes no risk. And the margin is 41. 14-98 plays 8-9-57. 21 minutes almost played in this final quarter of action. Barn Foods time clock. Barn Foods sells the freshest fish direct to you. Donga Road, North Geelong.
Pup kicks it in, but kicks it straight down the middle and kicks it to Joel O'Dwyer, who takes the mark. Kicks it to Humphrey, who takes the mark on centre wing on the outer side. Out wider. Taken by Zach Knights. He's going to just kick it back to Luke Webb, who's had possession 53. And 21 played. I'm just going to muck around now for 8 or 9 minutes. Humphrey kicks it out wide and gets it to Henderson, who takes the mark at half back. He chips the ball over the top. Ben Clark takes the mark. Centre wing, broadcast side, going to the southern end. Kicks it over the top to Lewis. Coming across, big thump away by the man with 2 first names, Luke Justin. And we'll have a boundary throw in at right half forward for St Joey's, who are 14-98. They lead Leopold 8-9-57. 22 minutes played in the final term of the Barwon Foods time clock.
Felix Henderson was trying to get off the ground then because he was absolutely knackered and the ball kept coming to him.
Ball hurled back into play. Jennings to do the ruck work against Betson. Betson just grabbed it out of the ruck with strength and then delivered inside forward 50. Bounces at the bootlaces of Mullen. He had lost it in the tackle. Head over the ball. That might be Morrison who's wrapped up. It is. And we'll get a ball up. Right forward pocket. About 25 from the St Joseph's goal. Isn't it a luxury to have Keelan Betson play as a big-bodied midfielder but also as a somewhat mobile ruck? Morrison doing the ruck work this time on the tap down, but only as far as Wagner. Wagner a clearing kick to half back. Oh, crunched the pack. Billy Clark took bodies with him left, right and centre. Gow rode the tackle, got a handball away, but only in the path of Williamson. There's a Leopold player down. Keep an eye on that. Is it Marcus Thompson who's in a bit of trouble?
Yep.
He was absolutely flattened in that contest, and just to add insult to injury on what's been a tough day for Leopold, their tough as nails skipper finds himself in the hands of the trainers about 45 out, 40 out from the St Joseph's goal. He gets to his feet now and he will shake off the trainers. He's a little bit sore and
he'll be back in the stoppage, you watch.
He'll find a way. Zach Knights, as expected, not too far away from him.
So ball up 45 out from St Joey's goal. Betson goes up in the ruck. Knights from behind. Pack develops again. The umpire will come in and ball it up. I think he might have copped one in the nether regions, unfortunately, Marcus, in that contest. Just trying to get his breath.
Well, you know it hurt, because if anyone
absolutely
bounce back up, it's him.
That's right. Betson tries to take it out of the ruck. Oh, handball to Gow was elite. Right foot kick from Gow. Hey! Has kicked the goal. Well, why not? Metricon goal of the day from James Gow. Another effort from him. Great handball from Keelan Betson. And Gow has put his second on the board. Cherry on top for St Joey's. 15-14, 104 they lead. Leopold 8-9-57. Zombrero K-Rock scoreboard. Zombrero feel good at Mex, and in the experts chair to the Sporting Globe. The Sporting Globe, Geelong Eat, Drink and Sport.
Well, they showed a little bit of yelp early, Leopold, but St Joseph just put him to the sword. That's 10-3 in favour of clearances. They've just got him around the ball, but more importantly, they've got him on the outside as well. So they haven't been able to defend the inside, and they haven't been able to defend the outside, Leopold, and St Joseph's have had their way with them.
Right now, as it sits, this is Leopold's biggest loss with the margin at 47 points. You've actually got to go back to mid-2023 when they suffered the margin was, I'm just trying to find that margin, and they got a bit of a pounding in a game in 2023. I'm just trying to find that margin. I'll get back to you in a moment, gentlemen, with that. Justin with the footy, jams it on the boot towards half forward. Giddings comes out, spoiled away by O'Dwyer at ground level. Chance here for Lunnon Johnson. Turns around the corner, looking for Thompson, who can't take the mark. Ball hits the ground, flying through. Humphrey was there, got a handball on the up from Webb. Boundary line too close, and we'll have it thrown back into play. Left forward pocket. Pavilion end of the ground, Joey's 47-point leaders, 104, playing 57.
So a throw in. McCoy up against Connor Giddings. Leopold with an opportunity.
Round 13, 2023, they lost by 51 to Colac.
So back into play. Wagner over the top of it. Ash in there also for Leopold at centre half forward for them. And pack develops around there. The umpire will throw it up 45 out from Leopold's goal. Watts and McCoy. Watts gets it down. Rowed by Betson. And he's just held up in the tackle. Sam Scott rolls him over. And it will be another ball up.
So just playing out time here. 26 minutes played on the Bowen Foods time clock in this final term. 104.57. I think the players will be happy to hear the siren as we tick towards 20 to 5. Tapped down by Watts. Sam Scott on the loose footy. Got a handball out, but only as far as Nernadis, who tried to throw it on the boot. Here's Betson picking it up, spinning out of trouble and giving a handball to Henderson. Henderson sends a wide kick and a well-weighted ball onto the chest of Kershaw, who caught one across the mush for his troubles from young Brislane. Short kick, McCoy. Now he can give it back to Kershaw, but decides to go wider. And it's a well-weighted kick into the path of Zach Knights. He's had a wonderful afternoon. Maybe his best GFNL game today. He goes short. And the mark taken by Antonak. Antonak ran himself into trouble, then he fired a handball wide. Zach Knights, how about a goal from 45 metres out? Zach Knights has pushed it across the face. Would have just been the third of his short career, but he makes the margin a neat 8 goals at 48 points. 15-15, 105, 8-9, 57, Queenscliff 74, lead Drysdale 73, Anglesey 115, Ocean Grove 65, and Port have pulled away to lead 130, 87 over Newcombe.
Kicking by Burgess, goes out wide, looking for the run of Matthews. Now over the top, Antonak. Wagner puts the tackle on, and it will be a ball up, 50 out from the St Joey's goal. 27.5 played in this final term. Bowen Foods time clock. So new ball up, and Watts gets it down to the side of the pack. And nobody going anywhere there. Umpire Ganaccio will come in and get the ball back from Cooper Ward, and we will have another one.
27 3/4 minutes played. Tapped down by McCoy, roving by Brislane, who's up around the footy, which is good to see for the debutant. Kick to the wing, out of sight. Ben Clark tracking it for St Joey's to the boundary line and out. And the crowd that was loitering around the van for most of the afternoon, for the most part, has disappeared. A lot up in the pavilion, a lot up under the shelter behind the tiered seating in the left forward pocket at the Geelong end of the ground. And many have already headed for various establishments.
Under the K-Rock, warning's the best.
Boundary throw-in again. Ball got out the back, soccer off the ground, missed by Burgess. Matthews stepped out of the tackle of McLaughlin, then kicked wide, tried to put it into space for Ritchie. Ball didn't get to him, although Ritchie put good pressure on Antonak, won the footy but turned it over. Banged on the boot there by Hose. His kick wasn't great. Chance for Leopold to repel. Williamson, Wagner tried to find the loose footy. Nernadis was good. He knocked it back though towards Williamson, who went to ground, got one high, according to the umpire. And the infringer was Nernadis, who this time last year was playing in the Colac District League for Apollo Bay, but finds himself now
gets tackled, needs to get rid of the football. Webb also comes in to put a tackle on Brislane, and the umpire will come in and ball it up 40 out from Leopold's goal.
22-5, 137 Port Arlington have kicked to 14-9. Newcombe kicked 93 and lost.
So ball up, Watts gets it down. Scott can't take it with him for Leopold. Watts gets it again. His handball to Burgess off a standing start. Coming out Antonak, and Ritchie puts the tackle on him. The umpire will come in and ball it up about 30 out from Leopold's goal at the moment. 29.5 play. Mercy rule, please. We're done here. St Joey's 105, Leopold 57.
Just the 3 goals, so there can't be much more left in this final term from the ball up. Williamson, again, he's actually worked his way into the contest a bit, Brock Williamson. Queenscliff 75, Drysdale 73. That is at the, it's getting a time update there, at the 27.5 minute mark. So you think maybe next goal wins that. From the ball up, McCoy socketed off the ground, went about 2 metres. It's picked up by Sam Scott, was slung before he get a kick away, but it's spilled for Ritchie. Ritchie a handball back. Williamson again, dumped without it. Umpire said play on. Brought to ground his Hose. We're still inside forward 50 for Leopold, but Joey's won't mind. They lead by 48. They're going to improve to 2-0, and we've got a mouth-watering Anzac Day to come, Kirsch.
Absolutely. Won't that be a cracker? hopefully we get a nice day like we have over the last couple of years.
Ball from the contest. Billy Clark kicks from the pack and has missed everything out of bounds on the full. So free kick, St Joey's. They come back to Joel O'Dwyer.
It's time to pull the pin on this one,
Yeah,
isn't it?
It's time. It's ridiculous now. Come on.
15-15, 105, 8-9-57. Final.
Waiting for the ball to come back from the basketball court. There was about 300 people in there half an hour ago. There's nobody there now.
And it's a very, very wet court. Zambrero final quarter. Feel good, Max.
Oh, yes. Some on the way home, please.
Thanks to Daryl and all the team. We'll be having some on Saturday. Geelong West and St Albans from their Geelong West store. Across the face of goal. The kick is marked by Webb. He's had a good day again this afternoon. First game of the season for him. He's going to load up and he goes with a high, long barrel, a spiral. They did like. Pepper came up, provided a spoil. McLaughlin held without it. Umpire said play on. Pepper went off the ground, but it ricocheted back in towards the pack where there's about 8 players around it. Ball does spill out in the end. Porter jams it on the boot. Humphrey tidied it up nicely. Handball release, a high ball, Nanatus to right half back, sit under that and play fair. Knocked away from Justin. James Hickey head over it. Pepper the other way, got down low, used the body. And then picked up the ball, got tackled by James Hickey, and we'll get another stoppage. 31.5 minutes played. There can't be much more, as there's a bit going on in the background, Jace.
Yes, Louis Antonak and Jet Matthews are looking like they might go to Leopold Sporties together tonight. And the piano tuners with them as well. And that's all done and dusted now.
Just completely old Pep.
Yeah, and then he gets a second effort, goes towards half forward now. And ball, Harry Smith threw the ball away, umpire, free kick. 32 minutes played, final term. You might think we'd had 15 goals.
No, right.
Lunnon Johnson. Siren.
Have a shot.
Have a shot. Take Lunnon Johnson. You kick this and Kirsch will look after you tonight.
I'll buy his drinks tonight if he kicks this.
Take Lunnon Johnson.
Has to be a barrel.
He's 50
No
out.
ifs.
He has to barrel it.
No buts.
Watch this go through for the Metricon.
He's going the barrel.
He's going to barrel. We like that Luke Webb style. He comes in now and... Ball game, St Joey's 15-15, 105. The defeated Leopold 9-57.
Pretty comprehensive in the end for the boys from Drew Oval, who start the season 2 and zip, and the two-time reigning premier suffer their biggest loss since 2023. A 48-point victory for the men in red, gold and black. 15-15, 105, plays 8-9-57. That last quarter on the Barwon Foods time clock going 32 minutes and 54 seconds. We've ticked over into the fifth quarter for home style aged care, the next best thing to being at home. We're going to go inside both camps. We'll have a chat to some couple of players on the ground. We'll have a chat to a couple of coaches and also the Leopold Sporties player of the day. $100 voucher thanks to Paul Kelly and the team as two Warriors walk together. Marcus Thompson and Al Hickey, the great captains of both clubs, having a conversation with each other, and no doubt the conversation is, well, we look forward to seeing